Right, shalom, shalom. The GMS camp back out here once again to do what we've been called to do. That's prophesy. Before we get started, like always, we want to give all praise and glory
to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Kamadash.
Number one is our teachers, the elder apostles, the great millstone, the men we learn the truth from. Shalom to the hopeful elect.
The book of Baruch, chapter 3 and verse 1. Oh, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Almighty, Most High of Israel, the soul in anguish, the troubled spirit crieth unto thee. Hear, O Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, and have mercy, for thou art merciful, and have pity upon us, because we have sinned before thee.
Yeah, that's the cry of the men and a few women that's getting their minds right in order, with their powers, with their creator, their fallen Yahweh. Their spirits in trouble, right? Why are their spirits troubled? Because we're not able to live freely within the confines of the law that our Father gave us. We're not able to live a righteous life according to the ways of the scriptures, right? It troubles us to go off daily, to sin daily, right? It troubles us to have to serve other nations who don't adhere to keep the laws of Yahweh Shah, right? It troubles us to not have control over our own households, right? Over supposed to be our women, right? Our children. These things trouble us on a daily basis. And we have to just sit here and take it, right? As a punishment for breaking that first covenant, that first bond that we went into with the Most High Yahweh, our Father, right? So within that, we're being troubled. So we're crying out now, the ones that have waken up to what the hell is going on in society. That society is totally amok right now. Everything's been flipped up, upside down, right? Everything's in the wrong place, right? Everyone's being taught the wrong things. Shit, people are flat out pagans. Not just people that have sold their soul to the system, but your average day person is a paganist, willingly or known or unknown. Knowingly or unknowingly, they engulfed in these different feast days, right? They engulfed in the customs of the oppressor, which is what, you look at Christianity, that's the same plantation shit, doctrine that's been here since we came to the shores of America, right? You work, you toil for the masses, then you preach that same doctrine, love thy neighbor, servants, be obedient to your masters, right? God loves everybody. That's the same Roman Catholicism, that hasn't changed since we was in chains. What has changed from the Christianity we was in when we was in chains to the Christianity now that we're out of the chains? Nothing has changed. People still put up the Christmas trees when you used to be the Christmas present. They used to give your ass a little Susie and have little Susie ride you, man. I seen one, I forgot which movie it was, but Jake, for Christmas, they do the scene with the three wise men, which that shit is off. The scriptures don't say it was on the three wise men, but they had Susie, she was playing, and they had the niggas, boy, the slave being the donkey. In the place, she riding him in master's house. But fast forward to this day and time, you people still uphold these traditions, still uphold these customs of your enemy, of your oppressor. And that troubles us because we're in our right mind. We're out of what these red pill guys call the Matrix. Right? We're in our right spirit. Thanks to Yahweh Shah, we're able to discern what should be and what should not be. And what should not be is the way America and the rest of the world that thinks like America is. That's why we can sympathize with the Koreans, the North Koreans, South Korea that's totally been domesticated by America, the North Koreans, the Elamites over there in East India. We can sympathize with some of these other countries because they realize the thought process of the beast over here is totally off. Which the beast is Europe, right? So if you hold the philosophy of the beast, you're defiled. And there's no coincidence that all the nations that make up the beast are these so-called white European nations. Whether it be Belgium, whether it be Germany, right? Spain, France, so forth and so on. And then when you look at these Davos meetings, these World Economic Forum meetings, who's up there? The nations of the beast. Germany, France, Spain, right? Is that a coincidence? And they push their thought process on the whole world. Right? They want to have you people thinking it's okay to eat bug food. It's okay to wear masks 24/7. It's okay to social distance for the rest of your life. Right? It's okay to be engulfed in a social media incorporated world where your mind is entrapped through a device. What does the spirit do? Right? What does the spirit do? The spirit dwells in your mind. It ain't gonna dwell in your ass. It ain't gonna dwell in your stomach. The spirit dwells in your mind, and the devil understood that. That's why he started you off as a young kid putting shit in your mind. Whether it be the things you listen to, the music, whether it be the shows you watch. He knows the spirit dwells there, so he wants to implant his thoughts into your mind. Right? So now you have assumed the things of your enemy, and your spirit is shaped after your enemy. That's why Yahweh Shah said, look, you are overborn with the devil. And the lust of the things that he will do, you do. Right? Why do you have such a major addiction on porn? Well, because the society that allows it. If the society didn't have Pornhub and all these other sites run rampant where your kid can just get on the phone and just go to it. If the society didn't have it, then you wouldn't have addiction to porn, because there wouldn't be no fucking porn to look at. But because the society has it, now you have these people consuming it, now their mind is entrapped. That's a major addiction for even married men. Right? Why is basically whores, right? Promiscuous, right? Promiscuity. Yeah, promiscuity. That's why promiscuity is run rampant. Because they teach your daughters and your wives that they can just flaunt themselves, they can show cleavage, they can show the shape of their ass, they can roam the streets. When Titus clearly tells us that a woman is supposed to be keepers at home, but you tell that to the women and they say, boo, that's born, I don't want to be there. Well, now you don't want to be what the Lord created you. The scriptures tell us that he did not make man for the woman, but he made woman for the man. Right? But over here they say, no, everybody's equal. We all bleed red. My country bleed red. But that stuff like that troubles us, right? So read that verse.
The book of Baruch, chapter 3, and verse 2. Hear, O Yahweh, and have mercy, for thou art merciful, and have pity upon us, because we have sinned before thee.
And we recognize that we've sinned, we transgressed. Right? So we're crying out to our power to deliver us from this confusion and madness that is taking place on the planet Earth. Right? We don't give a damn if y'all, hey, we was back in April Town, hey, go walks. And it's so me, because it's better to be with the Father and be broke than to be in this mess. The only reason that I want to be down here is to fulfill the will of Yahweh Shah. There ain't no reason for fucking be here. Ain't no reason for you people to be. That's why the scripture says, let the multitude perish that was born in vain. That word vain means worthless. The Lord said your lives are worthless. The Lord said that. And we can prove it in the scripture. Why? Because at the end of the day, what have you done? What have you done for your Creator? Not a goddamn thing, and then you just go die. Look at all the people that's dropping dead right now at the age in their 20s. What have they left for the Lord? What have they done for the Lord? That's a vain life. Just because you ride around in a fucking Corvette, that don't mean shit. What does that mean to the Lord? You got a fucking Corvette made by so-called white people. What does that mean to the spiritual world? Not a goddamn thing. It's vain. And that's what Solomon said that. He said, man, for a brother to get right here. Oh, you got it?
Yeah. And it's Ecclesiastes 1, and I'll start at 14, get to the point. And it says, I have seen all the works that are done under the sun, and behold, all is vanity and vexation of spirit.
And Solomon, richest man ever. And he was the wisest man ever. Right? Palaces, all the women, all the type of cattle you can have, the land, had an army of men at his back. It was peace on earth. Good point. It was peace. He still said all is vanity. Right? That's what happens when you're living in a society where people go off on a daily basis and they're consumed by their lust. Right? Because at the end of the day, people are still going off in Solomon's kingdom. It was a time of peace, but it wasn't a time of perfection. So you still had adultery going on. Right? You still had homosexuality going on. Right? Bestiality going on. You still had hypocrisy going on, which is the so-called white man's MO, hypocrisy. All right. Now you got this thing, this whole thing that popped up. I looked at it yesterday. This new Jake that got beat up, which that's a fucking psyop. Because at the time of everybody talking about what's going on with these elites, the banking system, the cryptocurrency, now a nigga just pop up, get his face stuffed out by 5 nigga accounts, and then the nigga that's always the representative for these Jakes pops up right again. What's the nigga name? Bald head guy. He was there for the George Floyd. Yeah, the lawyer. He was there for the George Floyd. He was there for the chick, the Britney chick. He was there for all. And he immediately already there at the stand, speaking on behalf of the family. But that don't show you this shit is rigged. Everything is a goddamn lie. They just chose this nigga to be the lawyer.
Yeah, and on top of that, you got 5 Jakes that are cops. Come on, man. No Edomites. Come on, man.
Yeah, he said this time, since he don't need that.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna make it call for so-called white man. Because what you gotta understand, the police force has been a Skull and Bones secret society. All right, that shit was a sold-out organization going back to the Patty Patrol when we got off the plantation. Police force ain't nothing but sworn in, enemies of us. And the higher you go up to these police departments, the more wicked they are. The more they're on the behalf and they can call the elites. They got certain police chiefs that they can call and this shit back. So don't think just because Jake got his face stuck in that it was just a natural occurrence. Like I said, this stuff happens every fucking day. They choose which ones they want on the news. If it's on CNN and Fox, which is owned by the Rothschilds, if it's on CNN and Fox, it's fucking fake, man. It's some shit they want you to fucking get open arms about. Some shit they orchestrate. They said we're gonna kill a nigga today. Put it on the fucking news. Jakes get harassed by cops every day in every major city throughout America. If that was the case, it could be a goddamn news clipping 24/7 running out of this picture of Jakes getting wrongly harassed by cops. Put to death by cops. Rape. Google rape by cops right now. See how many women have ran to I've been wrongfully detained and raped by cops. Why they ain't all on the news? Now they pick another nigga and he crying out for his mama again. Like George, he got him crying out for. See how he play with him? But see, he can get the 2/3 like that because the 2/3 is just brainless niggas that's concerned with whatever they see on the fucking screen.
Especially in New York, like I said, man, a kid was stopping him, like I said, a NYPD car. And then he said, step on, and then of course, the rest of the dumbass. Like you said, they fought for everything, protest. Like I said, going off, hey, you are the U.S.
For no fucking, and that's vanity, Because at the end of the day, he's still gonna throw your ass in FEMA camps. Y'all still gonna take this chip. Y'all still gonna lose y'all money out of these banks. Right, it was a clip. These people, they went to Bank of America recently. Bank of America told them, hey, look, we don't have y'all money.
That's one of the worst banks to go to, bro. Bank of America. I mean, come on, man.
But see what's been saving these banks is bailouts, right? With bailouts is when the government comes and prints more fake money to circulate to help these banks stay afloat. And what's about to happen is bail-ins to where the banks, because they said the banks, they don't have enough money on store, they don't have enough assets on store to cover everybody's funds within the banks. So to keep them from going out, they're going to take your money and pay their debts off. That's the bail-in. So you're going to go to a bank one day and find out that your money ain't there. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
Because they had to pay off their debts. And that's about to happen.
Yeah, because like I said, the banks, I was one thing, like I said, the banks, they're not run off by anything. Like I said, you know what I mean? You can create a bank just out of nothing, man. You store your money in there. That's what
the way it works, all right, so the brother's right, but the way it works is when you go to the bank and you borrow money or you go and get money out of your bank account, that money is tallied at the end of the day. So at the end of the day, the banks tally how much leaves the bank and how much comes to the bank. So at the end of the day, your bank borrows against the major bank. So the major bank has to give the other banks a loan.
And what is the major banks?
That's called
No, the red one, yeah, the Fed, which is owned by who? The Rothschilds. So that shows you the whole monopoly scheme, which is why you look at that board game Monopoly. Now, if you look at the character of the Monopoly, the Monopoly character, the guy with the top hat and the mustache, that's supposed to be Alma Meyer or Rothschild, right? Because they run America by what? A monopoly, right? You get your jail-free card. That's the Fed. Real estate, all of it's a game. Now, like the brother was just going into, the big banks have been helping them out, though. Even Wells, like you were saying, Wells Fargo and all that, those are owned by the Morgans. You got the JP Morgans. All those families are still tied in with the top banking firms, right? So it's a central banking cartel that's been running this whole system. So really, what's going to happen is they wanted to happen. So even Chase, look at Chase Bank, right? They're going to allow your funds to pay off these banks' debts because they don't want to keep helping these little banks because they want the economy to further diminish so they can bring in their new system, which they've been creating for years, the digital currency, which crypto was a big thing over a decade ago, right? It came into fruition over a decade ago. Nobody really knew about it except people, the real top geeks, right? Because it really came on the scene like 2010. Crypto been a thing. That's why you got so many Bitcoin millionaires that stashed their Bitcoin and waited until it became something over all those years. But now that it's already at the forefront of people's minds, now they can bring in a new system now. Right now, if you've been listening to what they've been saying at Davos, in the World Economic Forum, they've been saying, okay, we need to, it's going to be tied to the chip. They flat out said, one guy flat out said this shit. I guess he snorted coke before he went up there. He just flat out said, yeah, we're going to put the digital currency on a chip. Right? Like, y'all going to one day y'all going to having brain chips in your brain. Having chips. One nigga said, we got a chip that you put in your mouth and it dissolves. And it can detect whether you're taking a certain potion or not.
I mean, that makes sense because thinking about it. I mean, because what you got like your what's it called, your digestive system. So when you so when you eat something, depending on what it is, your body's toxins that are
They're even trying to work on straight liquid foods like a juice or something, where they can break the C into the juice or any type of liquid so you can drink.
Yeah, so that's their plan. They incorporate you in their new system, which it all goes back to what? Right? If you tied into the beast, you're going to be tied into the mark of the beast. That's why it's called the mark of the beast. What's the beast? For all you camps out there that saying the chip is not the mark of the beast, what's the beast? Break down the beast first. Right? Then once you break down, because when you go to Daniel, what does Daniel describe the kingdoms as? What does he describe them as? He describes them as beasts, right? He describes the kingdoms that ruled during that time as beasts. He described Alexander the Greek's kingdom as what? A leopard with wings, right? He described them like wild animals because they're heathenistic kingdoms, so they're not like it as beasts. So the beast will have to be what? A heathenistic kingdom ruler. So you camps have to break down what is the beast is. All right, since the scriptures clearly tell us that it's a nation ruler, what's the nation? Oh, okay, the Edomites. Europe. Okay, now what is the European system's mark? Because they teach what do they say? Christianity is the mark. Right? So they're trying to say Roman Catholicism came from Europe, so that's the mark. Right? Right? Now you have to touch in the buying and selling.
That's what they don't explain. They don't explain that. They don't explain that. Buying and selling. I mean, that makes sense.
No, they're saying what they say is some of these camps they say Christianity is the mark. So really, what they're trying to say is, if you're saying the so-called white man is the beast system, which is Europe, and you're saying because Roman Catholicism came from Europe, and Christianity will have to be the mark. That would be the only logical explanation for them saying that, because the beast is the European Union. In Roman Catholicism, Christianity did come from over there, but now you have to touch on the buying and selling. And you have to go into what that mark means, right? And I was a Christian before. I'm not a Christian no more, but the scriptures tell you you take the mark, you get destroyed.
Kind
But we out here teaching the scriptures.
of.
Sure, the majority of us was Christians, praying to Jesus, right? So how was that the mark? You can come out of the mark.
Yeah, cause I just find it funny, you know what I mean? I just find it funny because, like I think it's back in the world, even, you know what I mean, Christianity knew that like I said, MOTE was the, you know what I mean, was the mark of the beast. You know what I mean? He prevented these camps.
You got guys out here talking about right now the mark is spiritual. And it's going to turn into something. You know, so every week you got different camps, different people that's teaching that the MOTV is something that which is not. And all you know, like what we preach, we like, all right, if you feel that way, prove it. Go into the Strongs, go into the definition of these things. But they won't do that. But they'll just start freestyling. How's the MOTV something spiritual that's going to turn into something physical? When you go into the word of it, it's something physical. You can't change the definition of something, you know? But even though E did that with new speech and all that, but nah, it is what it is.
Now, if I really get the mark of revelation, we'll bring it up.
Man, it's like, man, like you said, because these camps, they got so many different doctrines. One, like you said, they got bias, you know, whatever you say, what, it's a sin. And then you got another camp saying that it's a state of mind. You know, like I said, it brings a total confusion, man. That's why.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And then you
No, just to blame back on you. If that was the case, if it was sin, then we all have it then. Right? You know? But we all have it, you know? Every Israelite will have it. Come on, man. And that's a future judgment to take it. So how does that make sense? None of that adds up. That's 1 + 1, that equals 2, right? That's 3 right there.
God, hey, like, I mean, that's why the scripture said if it were possible, they should what? Deceive the very elect.
Right.
This is Revelation chapter 13 and verse 15. It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
What's the image? You got to break down the image. What's his visage, right? The word visage is what? The image. What? Right?
It says verse
I ain't
16.
gonna give them the answer. They got to break it down.
Verse 16. And he causes all, both small and great.
He calls them all, right? Who's the he again? What's the beast? Brother holding the sign up. Right? They meet Davos, World Economic Forum, from the European nations, right? They cause it all. Shit, you got a lot of people who never was Christians. You have a lot of Muslims that never been Christians. The Muslim nations gonna have that check there. Right? Tuned in there. They're gonna have that chip. You got Muslims with the chip. You gonna have atheists been atheists. A lot of atheists. Never went to Christianity. They're gonna have that chip, man. You wanna see that? Buddhists, right? Hindus. Everybody and their mama gonna be caused to get that to survive. Because I don't give a damn what you say. Hey, you can be in any religion you want. But if you ain't able to feed yourself, what the fuck does it matter? So y'all gonna take that Quran. Right?
Yeah. Makes sense.
He hasn't caused everybody to be a Christian. That's why you got certain nations that's still against this nigga. Right? You know, every nation on earth ain't a Christian nation, man. The West is known as Christian, as Christians. Right? The eastern part of the world is like Christianity is the devil. Iranians call y'all devils. Because actually the Christianity that y'all come with is demonic. Because it comes with a sword stuck in your throat. It comes with rape. It comes with disease warfare. Right? It comes with lies, robbery, confusion, deceit, raising up women, propping women up. That's what Christianity prop women up. Women ain't even supposed to be leaving their houses, going to a big ass building, worshiping another man, talking about Yeah, but shoot,
Oh yeah.
I'm talking about just
Yeah, the Jew.
yeah, because the women ain't supposed to be going to no building talking about Jesus is my man. Now think of this, right? Yahweh Shai is a real man that walked on the earth, right? Now, if you had a wife during that time, and your wife come to you saying, Yahweh Shai my man, Yahweh Shai will slap her, and you supposed to slap her, right? But that's the silly mind state that Christianity keeps. Jesus my man.
Or what they say, have a personal relationship.
I got a personal relationship with the Lord. If he was here right now, you got a man, he would tell you, you female dog, go to your husband.
God is telling me, not you. God is telling me. Oh, yeah, right there. You see it?
He would curse that woman out. Matter of fact, brother, give me that in Matthew where the Lord said, woman or the world, you know not what you do.
You got it out.
Because that's what he would have told the woman. You know not what you worship. Right? So these women, they bugged out. And they'll try to lead you to destruction. Because that's what a woman does. They lead you to destruction. That's what the whole serpent ordeal was about in the garden. Right? Woman was made for the man. So what happened was Adam decided to fall to the woman. What happened after he fell to the woman? Downfall. Bring that up in the churches for these women in here. We're not supposed to follow y'all. That happened in the garden. Y'all ran to us with the serpent ideologies and philosophies, and we took hold on it, and what happened to us? Mortality. Which when you go into the word mortal, it goes back to being dead.
If I may say, scriptures tell you, the woman is beginning to sin, through her we all die.
Through her we all die.
This is Sirach 25 and 24. It says, of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die.
Yeah, you got to bring out in the church. But then they going to say, oh, nah, that's the book of Sirach. But nigga, the book of Sirach is in the King James Bible. It was taken out by devils.
It's in Catholic Bible.
Yeah, it's in a lot of Bibles. It's in a lot of the first Bibles. King James know what he was doing when he told them men to compile those books. That's why when you look at some of the early Bibles that was translated by the leadership of King James, they have pictures of him being event right in the book. They got older pictures of him, younger pictures of him, and they don't tell you. Oh, and then a lot of them rumors about King James came from devils anyways. Because King James was a royal Jacob, and they didn't like the fact that he was upholding the old traditions of the old covenant. Right? Homosexual. For one, he left. Don't be a homosexual.
I'm going to say, I got that book, the letters he wrote to his son and all that. Son tells him, don't be no more. You know what I mean? He tells you, you know what I mean? But just like the brother said, you know what I mean? That's what he does. He's a monkey Christian. I was going to say one more thing. The Lord's beautiful because what's the definition of the word apocrypha? It means hidden. You know, that shows you that he's the author of all this, man. You know?
Yeah, so they'll tell you, yeah, that's the apocrypha. That's a rock. Yeah, what you mean? It's a rock. They right, it's a rock. You need to read it. The word? Go ahead, Joe.
You want me to start up? Go to the point. You want to start up a little bit?
Yeah, okay. Because that's what Yahweh Shai would have told all these women that's talking about their man is my man is the Yahweh Shai. That's my man. Yahweh Shai ain't dealing with your black ass.
That's the old single women would say.
Yeah, kind of.
Or maybe their big mama husband might have died off, and she never went and got another man. Jesus, my man.
He definitely ain't dealing with you now. He's a god.
Right.
What are your fucking man?
Yeah.
He in a whole other realm waiting to get his think about you stink blows, man. In your mortal flesh. He didn't want to deal with you when he came in the flesh. He said, how long must I suffer these niggas? You think he waiting to be, you know what I'm saying? We even have to get new bodies to be in the midst of his presence. And he calls us his bride. He don't call you women his bride. He calls the men his bride. That shows him that he give a damn about you. He didn't even deal with a woman. when he
Damn.
was here.
Yeah, they're gonna show you some.
All you simps out there, they always talking about the damn, I need a woman, I need a woman. Your Lord didn't have a woman. Showing you that ain't important.
Scriptures also say if they have no wife.
Yeah, he told the men to lead it, but they had to lead it. Fuck, that ain't important, man. We in a time of judgment. We're in a time of immense judgment, man. I'm watching the last episode of The Last of Us. That shit crazy, bro. You see the second one? The second one crazy, bro. The second one crazy. But you already know who died first in this shit. I ain't even gonna say it. They got a little tussle with some shit. And who died first?
Ah, shit. I'm fucked up.
And the dude like, well, damn. she didn't even want to tell him at first, though. You know?
Ah, shit. I got fucked up.
Yeah, because you a fucking woman, man. You a liability in that day and time, man. She limping.
Oh, yeah.
She got hurt. He had to stop, wrap her foot up. You know what I'm saying? She limping. Then they get to the next destination. She's like, ah, shit.
Is this a game?
No, it's the new show. It's an infection. But it's an infection that spread. It's an infection that spread, and then like 20 years later, it shows you how it is in the 30s. Yeah, the virus went crazy. She got no shit. Cause you a damn woman. Call herself fighting this shit, man.
Right.
The man was alright though. The man was getting busy. But if you gonna be simping for women, you gonna be right along with her. True.
That's what. Hey, that's what you know in the last days. Like I said, like this get tough. A lot of these dudes that's with these women, they're gonna start leaving these women out here, man. You know, like I said, because like I said, none of these men are actually gonna be real men in those times. You know, because what? They're gonna be apathetic for themselves, man. Like I said, prime example is like I said on YouTube, they do these scary pranks about people in these killer clown suits and when you're walking up to couples. First thing that you're gonna see is you're gonna see the dude actually hopping over the gate or running, leaving his woman behind, man. That's what's gonna be like in those days, man. Ain't gonna be no power couple or this and that. No. That's it. Like I said, man, you got to,
Yeah, you said ain't gonna be no problem for me. That's right. They ain't gonna have that. They ain't gonna have that mind frame all the time, right? Holding hands to salvation. Man, fuck no, man. We coming back into manhood, right? And men are about building and overcoming. Right? What gives a man the most joy? When you accomplish something, when you overcome something, when you build something, when you fix something. You may have to fix something on your car. You're like, yeah, I did that. You wipe the dirty hands, put the hood down, get you a glass drink. You feel like a man, right? Women don't give a fuck about doing that shit. That don't give her no fucking joy.
but fucking fix this. I need a man for this shit.
But for us, we want to get shit done. We like doing it, and now we can't get it done. It hurts your pride when you can't get, because now you got to call another man to come do it.
Yeah.
But at least it's in your spirit to know, I'm supposed to be doing this shit. That's why when men do call the men to fit, you right there watching it. Okay. So the next time you bring your toolbox, you don't give a fuck if you got them shit, I broke some shit. You gonna do it because you're a man. And a lot of you women gotta pay too, because your man do shit, and then you get mad at him because he can't fix it, but he tried. You know what I'm saying? At least he trying to be a man. Putting food on the table, you look down on the average working man. That's the trash man, right? The mailman, right? That keeps society running, and all of you damn peasy head, nappy headed bitches, all of y'all think y'all gonna get LeBron James and Drake. When over 90% of the population is average men keeping society running. The entertainers are put there to entertain you, but the men that's actually keeping the society going, you look down on. The men that's building the roads.
Yeah, wait, nigga. So I can get to the nigga with the fame.
Paving the street, building the buildings. They look down on you. You try to buy them a drink at the bar. You just a regular average dude, but you a hard working dude. You think Drake can fix some shit that need to be fixed when the time comes, or Drake got shit on call to help him?
Excuse me. Can such and such come fix this?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? That effeminate ass voice.
I can see him doing that.
But, I mean, and
Tory One.
we add on. I don't know if brothers remember how Drake was acting before the fame. He was a geek. He was a nerd.
Yeah.
He was corny as hell. Like, yeah, well, yeah, but I'm just, you know, that's acting. But just him as a person. He's corny. Like, and they think he's going to protect him. Remember when that show Punk came out? He ready to get up out of there. You know what I'm saying? You know, but because the society puffs him up as the, people thinking this guy's the best rapper ever. No, he had help, right? What does he have? Besides the fame. Like the brother said, when it comes to that day, you think that Drake's going to hook off for you, protect you? He might be faster than the female. He's going to break fast. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I said a lot of these dudes, they're gonna be looking out for themselves, man. And you know what I mean, and like you said, not their woman, man.
Colin, if I may, a lot of these women think that what they're doing is bigging up a man. You know, like what the brother was going into. You can have all these skills, you know, to get you through life this day. But a lot of these women who don't deal with like blue collar men will sit back and say, well, you know, I can help him get his grind on. You know, I can help him go to that next level. You can't help a man get to the next level where you ain't shit. I mean, you just can't do it.
Yeah, what they call it an elevator.
Yeah.
Right? That's bullshit, because you don't know a man's purpose. A man's purpose has been designed by the Most High Yahweh. You looking at it on some carnal, fluffy shit, and elevate you to look a certain way, drive a certain car, live in a certain house. Right? But see, you gonna want these blue collar men in times of trouble.
Yeah.
These rough looking men that ain't in the barbershop for 3 hours, in the chair for 3 hours, getting his shit lined up, getting spray. Getting spray.
Hey, I get it with burn line. You gotta hit it with the alcohol.
You get baby hairs on this tip of tape.
Yeah.
In the chair for 3 hours, in the mirror.
Yeah.
Trying to look better than the female.
Yeah.
But see, that's what's esteemed on this side. Like it's that saying, strong men create weak times, and weak men create hard times.
Yeah.
You know? See, you can do that shit when everything is copacetic and kind of somewhat, you know, not hectic. But when society gets hectic, you gonna want the men that ain't concerned with their looks. You gonna want the men that knows how to build something, that knows how to show you, that knows how to put a nigga in the headlock. Like, this for me and mine, nigga. Right? You want a nigga that you see something. A lot of these niggas with guns, with these bitches. A lot of them with bitches anyway. That's why when some shit really happen, they be froze. This side I tuck my shit in.
It's different when you target practice and you know, man, they're actually trying to kill a person. It's totally two different scenarios.
Jake ain't even on that level.
He be having the holster.
Oh,
He be strapped. He be ready. He got the belt. Jake got the shit chucked in his ass crack. You know what I'm saying?
Shoot himself. That's what happened with Tupac. When they ran down on Tupac, he had twin Glocks. You know, people that know about Glocks ain't got no safety. He was so nervous, he went to pull and blew one of his nuts off.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Yeah, that's, if you ever look into it, the trajectory, not all the bullets he caught was by somebody else. One of them was self-inflicted. He shot one of his testicles for him.
Damn.
You know?
Yeah, so you don't want these effeminate men that got these purses, mid purses, got the gun in. You know what I'm saying? I seen a clip, nigga bump the dude, nigga open his purse. Shoot the dude. You ain't gonna want that man in that day. You gonna want a man that's a real man that can stand in the face of adversity and not bat an eye.
Yeah.
Right? That can look face to face with demons and look at a demon and say, you below me. I'll show you how about you shine.
Right.
You know how many men out here that see, if they seen an apparition with shit they pants, they pissing themselves.
No, bro, yeah. No, bro, let's see, actually shit on themselves.
Jacob wrestled an angel. And them right hand side angels ain't pretty neither. They ain't nothing to look at and just say, oh, they so fluffy. Them right hand side angels, you look at them, you feel you put on you. Those are instruments of death.
Some other jobs, too. I mean, we say engineer for this thing.
The right hand side, the right hand, the one we just see the cherry, they put people to death every day. You want a man that's able to withstand the spiritual way and the physical way in that time. Right?
Yep, you need that man that can stand with the Ephesians.
You see a bear, you just ran into a fucking bear. That just happened. You see a bear. Now, man of the Lord, he may be scared, but he ain't gonna run because he got the fear of Yahweh Shema Shalom.
O'Connor, if I may, the brothers out there in California, they were doing a lesson a few years back, and the pack of wolves was like rolling on them. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't see the dogs coming, but you heard the dogs go, and you know, like, just stop. You know?
Yeah, because when you gonna run? You can't run out of both leg animal. But a frightened nigga won't run and get both of y'all killed. As soon as you run, you fool to those beasts. As soon as they see you turn your back on you done. But a man that feels the Lord is like, I'm on some David. David was wrestling land. You know what I'm saying? That really happened. Wrestling beasts in the field. They was wrestling beasts in the field. David was young too. Yeah, he wasn't no full-grown man yet doing that. David put all us to shame as a boy. That's the spirit we're supposed to be getting back to, man. We ain't supposed to be scared of creation. The Lord created the animals for us to have dominion over them. We got to get back to that. And it's going to start in Drake's Trouble, too. The Lord going to put your ass back out here. Reading these stories, things the game. Lord going to put your ass back out here and say, walk. Yeah. Go ahead.
Step out on faith. We walk by faith, not by sight.
There you go.
You got to have the faith that the Lord is going to be on your behalf, no matter what you encounter. Because you ain't going to be able to just run out of every situation. Hide from every situation. Maybe a situation where you cornered and you got to get down.
It says in Amos, you know, I mean, that we read a few weeks ago. What? You run from a bear and a lion right next to you, or a spider, or
venomous spider.
Yeah, venomous spider. Right, you put your head on the wall, you get big. Like I said, you can't escape it, man. You said there's no escape unless you have the mercy of Yahweh Shema Shalom, because like I said, you can only go so far until the nukes come, and that's it.
And the scriptures teach us what the issues of death belong to you. So if you get bit by a poisonous spider, you did it too. It's that simple. It ain't even that deep. You die by a snake, you did it too. So at the end of the day, you can't. It ain't nothing. You trying to act like you preventing something, which is not. If the Lord wants your ass to get bit by something, you're gonna get bit. He wants you to get shot, you're gonna get shot. He wants you to get stabbed, you're gonna get stabbed. There's nothing people act like they prevent stuff from happening. No, that's mercy of the Lord that He allows you to walk and do things. You can have anything, but you can explain it. It's beast all around us. All bears, all type of shit. What you want to say?
Just to go off what you were saying, a few months ago, I had a dream that we was already in tribulation, and I had the strength in the dream that I knew I wouldn't back down from nothing if the Lord had me to go through it. And I, in the wilderness, came upon a bear, and I stood still because I knew if the Lord is, if it's for me to go, it's for me to go. If not, that bear gonna bow down. So in my mind, I'm thinking, hey, how much you have a shot? Tell me what to do, what's going on. It's in your hands, you know what I'm saying? The bear ass glue, blue, like real bright blue, and it humbled it once its eyes glare bright blue, it humbled itself. And then, you know, that was the end of the dream, but it showed me that, you know, if I stay in the will of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, I stand on my ground, and that's that rock within Yahweh Shai. We're going to get through anything.
Yeah, that's a beautiful testimony. Even when you look at the story with the lions did, Daniel, right? You got to put yourself there. What would you do? Don't give me that. Please, guys, I'll do anything. That's what other men do. They got to hold him. They trying to push him in. He hold on to the wall. Please, I forsake my power. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Help! You see them lines, man. Man, them lines are huge.
It was bigger back then.
And then, yeah, they was even bigger back. The lion teeth is like this, bro.
And they didn't eat within 3 days either. So, you know,
That's
that was
right.
You see them lines, you go, ah, no. You gonna forsake your power, man. You gonna deny your power. Right? But we want to get to that. I throw me in there.
Yeah.
You know how much faith you gotta have to be thrown in there with lions, man?
Yeah.
Because the flesh is gonna see that and immediately deny it. I'm denying the Lord. I'm taking it too long. See, people think it's a game. That's why we tell you on the camps, this is not a game. This test will be the ultimate test on your life. It ain't gonna be no easy cakewalk in Jacob's trouble. These niggas talking about cutting internet off, cutting lights off, famines. This real life shit. This ain't no game.
The Lord said, settle it within yourself. Get your head right. You know? Because once you get your head right on what the worst could possibly be, what do you got to fear? You know? Because you've already pictured the worst that can possibly happen. Although we don't know what the Lord can possibly do to you. But you know, you can just try to imagine it's gonna be bad. You got the faith that you were talking about, you know, like dealing with the animals and going out there in the wilderness, you're gonna be alright as long as you maintain your faith in Yahweh Shem Yahweh.
And then, you know, not everybody gonna encounter a wild beast. Not everybody's gonna encounter the same thing. But you have to be willing to have immense faith and pray, because faith is a gift. That's why the things that we're doing now is to help us get that when that time comes. Because if we're not doing enough, the Lord can deny us in that thing. And we don't have enough faith, and then we encounter a situation and we find ourselves denying the Lord because we're weak in the flesh. Right? Even Peter denied the Lord. Right? 3 times. He was weak in the flesh at that moment. Fear came on him. You was with Yahweh Shah. He was one of them. No, it wasn't. Because he just witnessed what they did to Yahweh Shah. You don't want to go through that. You don't want to get whipped to a pulp, flesh ripped off of you, and then put up hanging with nails in you. You see that? Well, they're gonna do that to me. So he's like, oh, I don't know him. That's what men do. You say you wouldn't do that, yes you would. Because you ain't even the half the man Peter is. That's King David. You telling me you greater than King David? If King David is not the Lord, how much more are you? Faith is a gift, but what happened after that? Peter went even harder. He said, never again. Right? His faith increased. He got more of that. So if you don't get that increase, then when that time comes, you can say, oh, I ain't gonna do this, I ain't gonna do that, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. It's up to the Lord what he give you, man. The scripture say the Lord give you the increase. He give you the oil, he give you the spirit. It ain't of us. The Lord can take the truth away from you. He can take the oil away from you, take the understanding away. This is a gift. If you have faith in that time, it has to be a gift from the Lord. The Lord says, okay, we start Jacob's trouble tomorrow. He gonna wake up with more faith. 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 He take me to get. That's that penny. Penny ain't just talking about on the chariot. Take it we gave you there. Then when Jacob's cup, you wake up and you start feeling nervous. Because nervous is demons. You start feeling nervous. Demons just jump on you. You scared now. You know, the Lord just forsook you. You thought the Lord had your back. Now you feel forsaken. You don't know you're forsaken. Because you're nervous, you're scared. See, the truth, the spirit of the Lord gives you confidence. Right? You can go into, whether you get the job or not, you can go to a job interview with confidence. Right? You can be amongst these people and have whole conversations with confidence. Right? That's what the truth is supposed to do to you. It's not supposed to have you. I ain't in the world. Look how they looking at me. Can they sense I'm an Israelite? No, the truth is you supposed to walk in every room. I'm a prince. You supposed to look people in their eyes. You know what I'm saying? You greater than them. Just because you ain't looking all cute and cutting like they got nice shape ups, right? All the jewelry, all the who gives a fuck about that shit? You serving the Lord. You way greater than them. You supposed to hold yourself as such. And people sense energy too. They got demons on. The demons sense their energy too, right? Even on the job, the way you carry yourself with dignity. You hold your head up high. The way you talk is with authority. Don't let these people diminish you, man, because they below you at the end of the day. Don't go nowhere in this world and think that you're below these people because you're not.
Okay.
They don't even know who their power is. So I don't give a damn how good the woman look. I don't give a damn how so-called cool the man is. He's not better than you. None of the Lord. That's what matters. Right? So where we at? Yeah, let's continue with that.
This is the book of St. John, chapter 4 and verse 9. It says, Then saith the woman of Samaria unto him, How is it that thou, being a Jew, ask a drink of me, which am a woman of Samaria? For the Jews have no dealings with the Samaritans.
Yeah, this is how the Lord talks to women. Right? Because you had these women. Oh, Jesus, my man. Y'all wish I would have told you to go to your husband. I hear you in my face. I am not your man. You got a man. That's showing you they don't even believe in the Lord. They just think of him as some fairy tale character. Yeah. The laws that he was teaching, what did he say? I come not to do away with the law, but I come to fulfill. Part of the law is obey your husbands. Right? Now you had these women, their husbands go out. You had these women, their husbands go out and so-called cheat. Right? Here is this man been faithful to you for 20 years. Right? And he said, man, I gotta try one time. I gotta go out and get something meat one time. Right? He do it for himself. If that happens and now it's divorce. Forget the 20 years of everything he provided for you, did for you and the kids. Because he slept with another woman, the love that you said you had for him totally goes up. That's wickedness, man. That's fucking wickedness. Which shows you these women are hypocrites.
Oh, prime example, just recently with what's his name, DJ Envy or something like that. You know, what I mean, obviously, said with another woman now. His wife's still mad over that situation. Now she talking about she went every 3 weeks of girl trip. So you ain't know what that is.
You already know what that means. And these men be loving these women. Ain't no way a man gonna stay with a woman for over a decade, more than breath, see her in her worst ways, provide for her, and don't care about her, man. But see, women don't care. Women care about having dominance over her. Don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck what you did for me in 20 years. For real. They fresh out the spirit. Yeah, but women, they care about dominance over the man. They don't care about everything he did for those years. And I'm speaking because I'm speaking on this matter because I'm in a situation where I'm seeing this happen firsthand. This woman already short dress going out. This madness, right? But that's what America teaches, and that's why we're gonna go back to this Baruch, because that's part of the stuff that troubles us, man. Well, you could drop that. Basically, I just wanted to get that because that's how the Lord used to talk to women. Yeah, go ahead to the point.
This is St. John chapter 4, and I start at verse 17. It says, The woman answered and said, I have no husband. Yahushua said unto her, Thou hast well said, I have no husband, for thou hast had 5 husbands.
See how the Lord cut her? This is your man. Y'all said this your man. Yeah, buddy, you got no husband. I heard you been around town. Come on, man. That's how the Lord used to talk, man. Go ahead, bro.
It says,
Now, why they ain't bring that up in all these mega churches? Because the church filled with women, and more than 90% of them do multiple dudes. The scriptures tell you when you lay down with a man, that's your husband. Yep. How many of them still got their first out here walking around? I don't give a damn if you were 16, 15, 17. Yo, you slept with somebody in that age, that was your first, that's supposed to be your husband. Right?
Well, he's somewhere in Memphis, Tennessee. He got a family.
That's your husband. In the eyes of the Lord, I don't give a damn what he did or what, you know what I'm saying? The Lord said when that penetration happens, when that wound gets cut, that blood, which what does blood represent? The covenant, the bond. That's why a woman bleeds when you penetrate a virgin. Right? You have inserted your rod into her and made a covenant, a bond with her. The blood is the token, the seal. Right?
Yeah.
So whoever did that, he broke the seal, everything you getting is worse. You enter into you. That ain't no true covenant. That's some shit the serpent gave you, which is run rampant all throughout this society. Which shows you how filthy this place is in the eyes of the Lord. Right? That's why it's going to be burnt the fuck up. You got women at 20 years old and been with 20 men. I had a conversation with a chick, man. She told me her and her friends, they was like 23 years old. Madness, man. Go ahead, bro.
That's so tight. Destroyed.
It says, for thou hast had
'Cause I
5
used
husbands.
to work at the gym with these chicks, and one of them, she was a Drake. And she used to be, yeah, I got to do, I go to him on Tuesday, I go to him on Thursday. That's how these women are. And you think you dealing with her and she all with you. Nah, man. I just tell you, trust not a woman's people. You're not supposed to trust any damn woman. How can you trust a woman when she can be swayed by any little thing? She can say she loves you and then she see a cute guy in the grocery store. And he go up to her and everything you say. Right?
She standing on, she gonna give it. You standing on her life.
Yep. She gonna give it up. She gonna give it because it makes her feel good in that moment in time.
Nigga, you ain't my daddy.
I thought I was supposed to be your man. He don't control me. What's going on?
That's my pride.
Scripture said,
That's my pride.
you should not let a woman gad abroad. I was watching the movie Prestige today, The Prestige, and that's about two magicians. And the woman was with the first magician, and he sent her to go to the other magician to try to find out his magic tricks and all that. And what happened? She ends up falling in love with the guy, even though she was with the other guy. You can't let a woman be, with any direction, I should say, because ain't no telling what they gonna do. A woman don't know what they want, you know what I mean? Until they see something, they be like, oh, I like sour apple or lollipops. That's my favorite. And then, later on the day, you might have a blue lollipop. Oh, no, now this is my favorite. A woman doesn't know what they truly want,
Yeah, especially when you ask them, just looking at what the movie's called. I've got the Notebook. The dude asked, he said, what do you want? I don't know. What do you want? Do you want him or do you want me? She gives a good answer. I'm saying, give a good example.
Yeah, because them niggas was right. Them niggas was in my way when I was speaking. I said, real responsible for that shit. Go ahead.
You seen about the movie?
Yeah, but in the movie, she was decided for 2 men. That's fucked up. That goes on a daily fucking basis. Like, bitch told me, bitch, I'm gonna, she told me that, she got me work. This dude called me, yeah, this, that. I'm like, he probably like me. You know what I'm saying? Don't play with me like that, because I don't give a fuck. And that's what make the women stay on.
Yeah.
When you be like, yo, okay, what you telling me for? Yeah. Because what's important to us is the Lord. Right? You can't entice us with no pussy, you can't entice us with no money. Right? Even when you get money, you be like, I got some extra money in my pocket. So I get more burgers. Right? I can buy this, I can update my subscription on Netflix. Like, what really do you have here? But the truth is the only thing that kills you. The truth is the only thing that keeps you alive. You do a lesson, you feel invigorated. You read a passage, something clicks in your mind. You feel invigorated, right? You watch a brother, you may watch the lesson that you just needed to hear in your life. You're like, man, I'm saving this stuff, put it in the playlist. Get you invigorated. Other stuff don't do that for you. Music don't do that for you. You listen to a song, you like, all right, next song. Next song.
Like I said, man, the only thing cure, like I said, you do a lesson, but I can just talk to him, man, because like I said, that's the only cure, man.
Because the truth is not vain.
That's right.
Right? Truth is not worthless. Everything in the world is worthless. So it leaves you empty. That's why people that make crutches of the world have these coping mechanisms of the world. They always go back to it. They need a refill. They need an update, a recharge. I need more crack. I need more coke. I
need more weed.
Need more cigarettes.
I need more cigarettes.
Yeah.
I need more holes. I need more. I need a field.
They got to keep going back to that, right? They empty inside, right? Because the spirit is depleted. But see, once the spirit is enlightened, right, and your spirit is filled up, your oil, your lamp is lit.
That's right.
You feel good. You walking, you moving. Those wise virgins with their oils in their lamp, right? That's why when the Lord looks at his servants, and if the spirit stays in us, when we look at our peanut grain, when we look at our brain, when we look at our spirit, you can see a bright glow. You look at the average nigga, that shit. It's the same illumination they had when the Lord put them down here. It didn't grow. It didn't grow at all. You reap what you sow. So we're working and toiling. So if we do meet the Father and he sees us, our light, it has grown. And it'll be an acceptable sacrifice that he'll want to take. You know? We tripled that penny. We doubled that penny. We quadrupled that penny. Right? We came down here and we found out, okay, the task is to overcome in the flesh. He put us down here to overcome the trials of the earth. That's why he got us in these bodies. That's why he got us in this wicked earth. To see if we're worthy for the kingdom to come. Because the world to come is never going to end, but you got to be worthy of it. That's why the Lord said this present kingdom, this present age was created for many. But the world to come, the next age is for few. Right? That righteous, beautiful kingdom that's going to blow your mind is only made for those worthy of it. Right? If you desire wickedness, here, this is your kingdom. Have wickedness. If you overcome by your lust, then here, this is the kingdom for you. You can fulfill all the lust you want. You can do whatever you want in the flesh. But if you desire righteousness, you got to hold on and wait. You know, I'll give you righteousness. Right? That's what the Lord said. You don't get righteousness, but you have to rehearse the righteous acts between the wicked kingdom. And that's the battle. Rehearsing the righteous acts in the wicked kingdom. That's spoken. And everything around you is wicked. And you gotta have a moral code within you to say, no, I ain't gonna go that way. I ain't gonna do what they do. I'm gonna abstain from this. That's where the struggle and the tussle comes in at. But that's the whole battle. That's brother give me that Edris. The battle. Yeah. That's the whole condition. That's the battle of man, Israelite men, to overcome this wicked and corrupt society. Right? It's basically like when Thor, Thor's father threw him to earth. He stripped everything from that one scene when he started stripping. Give me this, you ain't worthy of this. Start taking everything, I'll take it. His Thor thought he was hot shit. He walking in the palace. Yeah, I went over to his father said, didn't I tell you not to do that? But we need to do it this way. He said, I told you not to do that. I don't want to do it. Give me this, you ain't worthy of it. Started taking his arm, we took his hammer, right? Threw his hammer to earth, right? But he couldn't even, when he threw it to earth and threw his son to earth, he couldn't even grab his own hand. Now you gotta find out what my will is for you and overcome in the flesh. That's what he did with Thor. That's how they got it from the scripture. He thought he could pick up his hammer with Thor. Now, you got that Job on you. You in the vessels, the chains of darkness. So now Thor had to be with humans. Watch the movie. That's a good ass movie. It's a highly he in the cafe. He depressed. He's like, right, yeah. Now that see like, cause he's a god, and he born with these humans.
You got like a man.
These fucking weirdos. Yeah, he like any fucking weirdos. He got to befriend a loudmouth woman. Right? That movie spiritual. But he said, you know, I'm gonna accept that my father got me here for a reason. And he did the task that brought him back to his glory. Then we get his hammer back, got his glory back. Right? That's what we do. We down and we do. The Lord took it. Let me show you your lifespan. And I'm gonna throw you down to earth. I'm gonna put you in the flesh. I'm gonna make your women against you. Yeah, you wanna be against me? I'm gonna make your women against you. And I'm gonna make them bald headed. The Lord did enough on us, man. Don't you know it's sad for Southern Kingdom to be the only women with no hair? All these other nations women got hair. They ain't got no hair. They gotta buy hair. That's a shame. You gotta buy hair, man. Lord said, I'm gonna take their hair away, take your beauty away. I'm gonna give you corrupt food. You don't even know what's in your food. Fucking Simply Orange juice corrupt.
Shit. I can't even go to the
And what
village.
makes it even more sad, they gotta go to a lower nation to get there. You know, you gotta go to Moab to get your yaki number, whatever. You know what I mean? And what the scriptures say, Moab is our watchman. We supposed to be above. We gotta go down to our service to get
their hair.
Yeah, you know, that's crazy.
That's sick about that. Simply.
Yeah, I know it was too good to be true.
But what is it called? Simply Orange. Nigga, Simply Poison. You goddamn dope.
By Coca-Cola brand. Anything that you know, the Coca-Cola touches.
Right. See, and that's another thing. Jake don't think about stuff like that. All these products belong to you know, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, you know, and that ain't nothing but poison.
They got so many brands, it's crazy.
Well, I'm just saying, think about it. When we was in the world, we was drinking that shit, Pepsi, you know. I know my peoples in my family, they couldn't go a day without a 2 liter of that shit. Yo, you can clean battery acid, corrosion off of a battery with that shit. And we're putting that in our system.
Heaters with that shit.
Wondering why we got a headache. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but even with those foods, like you look at sugar, they'll say, you look at certain, just to say sugar, but your body naturally creates sugar, right? And it breaks down the glucose. So when you're drinking something that says sugar, but if you know it ain't sugar, what is it breaking down to? It ain't breaking down. It's causing cancers, bacteria, and all kinds of other shit, diseases. But that goes back to us being cast down here in this hellhole, right? Our Father took away our glory, took away our lifespan, took away peace. We need to have a peace of mind. Got you working for you. Got you working for corporations that don't give a fuck about you. You don't even, a lot of jobs, majority of the people that, like when he's going into the blue collar working man that keeps society running, right? The fabric of any nation, they don't want to work these jobs. You think the trash man want to be the trash man?
No.
You think the mailman want to be the mailman?
No.
That's what the best he could do at the moment in time to put bread on the table. That ain't a life, man. That's just existing. A life is being able to build the things you want to build and take joy in that. Build corporations and institutions that make you enthusiastic. That's why a lot of these people sell out to do those things. Shit, I can't do it on my own, so I'm gonna get in contract with the devil and do it. But see, that's the struggle. That's what you have to sit here and cope with, right? A lot of people ain't willing to do that. They want to get high and smoke weed all day long, depressed, because they gotta clock in and act like they got holes. Right? Act like they got holes on the line. Right? Watching red pill videos. No damn way none of you niggas got a passport and leaving the country. But you putting that in your spirit. You only hurting yourself. I'm talking about the niggas in the world. We understand the situation. The Philippines. Yeah. Y'all ain't right. But you ain't over there. So you just making yourself hurt more because you ain't over there. You gotta be stuck over here with these niggas. And that's what drives men crazy. That's what drives these people crazy. And it all started with these devils, the so-called white people. Roaming free without chains on. The scripture said he was let loose. Loose. The Lord said he let these niggas loose. You know, if something had to be let loose, it was on a chain.
Tight too.
Ready to get the fuck off. The Lord took the chain off. Get him, get him. That nigga he ran down from the caves. Harry, yeah, we free now. And then they started the Renaissance. We gonna paint over their images. We gonna make the Lord look like us. Yeah. Slave trade. You know, and then to this day they've been poisoning us, lying to us, right? Yeah. To the point they can even create a situation where a nigga get killed in the streets. They own the news, they own the police force. It's easy for them to make a call, hey look, such and such chief, we need you to do this, right? It's gonna be a Jake. We're gonna kill a Jake. We need you to pick certain cops, Jake cops this time. We need you to kill a Jake, beat them good. Make sure your body camera's on, make sure everything, you know, and we're gonna release it at the perfect time during the Davos meetings in the World Economic Meetings to get people distracted off of what's really going on in society as they build in this new system.
Then next thing you know, NBC, ABC,
All the
CBS,
major
TBS,
news corporations will pick it up.
everybody coming up real
Instantly.
fast.
And then the same niggas gonna pop up. That same lawyer from George Floyd.
Yeah.
Wait on Al Sharpton coming. He just getting his perm straight.
Yeah.
He gotta get his perm straight.
God, that's crazy. Yeah, God, this is like that's what you know.
Distractions, man.
And people
How many times does a Jake have to get killed for you to realize that shit is insignificant? We gotta come back to our power. Protesting and crying out and marching, but see the enemy got you right where he wants you. He can distract you when he needs you distracted, right? While he works in the background on what he wants to do. Because we at the end of this thing. If you can't see we at the end, you just blind. The cryptocurrency system is about to be unleashed. These banks got a deadline, I think it's June, right? Or they default. And you just going into the bail-ins, how they gonna pay off their debts. They gonna use your money that's sitting in the bank. That's why I spread my shit out. I should have Cash App, PayPal, over there, over here, nigga. Then you gotta keep, you gotta keep the cash on hand. Just in any situation, you always have something tangible, coins, always. You shouldn't just. But these mindless people, everything was on their fucking chip card. So as soon as the computer shut down, oh shit! That's why they was in Bank America losing. You see, you ain't got my motherfucking money. And the teller like, nigga, I just work here. I don't own Bank America. I just got, the call came back. You gonna beat the teller ass. You gotta go. Where's my fucking money? Get my money. You don't know what the fuck going on. Right?
Yeah, customer service. I say,
But
that's
see,
a terrible
he
job.
set the system up like that. And that's what's going to happen in all these damn banks. Like, it was going to the Wells Fargo, your Morgans, your Chases.
That's funny.
That's true.
Yeah, it's true though. That customer service. That's what's
They
good.
could say school bank put money under the house beginning.
Yep.
Next year it ain't gonna be working.
Make sure what they doing. That's what they
Even
doing.
your credit unions, even your Navy Federals.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to tell you this, Navy Federal quick to give you ass a loan. I done got a couple for, they quick to give you you think they got enough assets on hand to cover all the loans they be giving out? You know when people in debt right now with Navy Federal?
Yeah.
How Navy Federal gonna cover their debt? FDIC. Snatch that. He got 20 grand in it. We need that. He got 100 grand in his thing. We need that.
You gonna name it for anything.
Yeah, God.
They coming for it.
Hey, well, they show you they already got the system to snatch it if it's in there.
You think you about to go food shopping? I am budgeting. I got $150 for food. You grab all that shit up, you go to the cash register, decline.
Oh,
You know that shit go off, man, loud.
Oh yeah. Look behind you, people looking at you. Now mind you, they can help you, but like I said, we in America, they selfish like that.
Yo, essentially having a bank is putting your money in the bank is basically saying you can't manage your own money. Think about it. But in the system, we're taught, our parents and all that, as soon as you turn 16, such that you can get you a bank account. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what.
But it's all rigged.
Nah, you better.
It's all rigged. It doesn't make sense to have your money in an institution where you're getting less than 1%
Right.
interest on your money.
Yeah, God.
Think about that.
That's a scam.
Think about that. You give them 10 grand and you get 1% of 10 grand. What's that, $100?
Yeah,
$10?
yeah,
Crazy shit?
yeah, a year or something like that.
It doesn't make sense.
But see, that's why they built the society off of these banking systems. That's why the Rothschilds were so heavy on getting control of the money system. Because they could rule everybody like that. Now everybody's tied into that. So if they transfer the system, it's easy for them to grip them. Now if they deplete your shit, it's easy for you to, well, maybe if you want some money, crypto, chip. Now you see how it's going to be easy for people to gravitate towards it because it's going to be hard times. Like I said, it's easy to say what you won't do, what you will not do. When you ain't seen it, family yet. The things that are about to occur over here in America hasn't touched America yet. So a lot of these third world countries, they know what it's like. To be barefoot, ashy, scratching and shit. And everybody on the news looking at them. Damn, that's sad. Niggas, you about to be full force in it. because Americans think it's like they almost think like the people in other countries are not people. Like I've been outside the country, I've been amongst them. They better people than you. They have more of a moral code than you niggas. They more in tune with the earth than you niggas. They ain't all about me, and they more family orchestrated. You go to these other countries, they actually sit with their family, no phone, no computer, no TV. They just sit with the family and talk. You don't see that shit in America. If the family come around, the daughter in the room on the pad, son downstairs on the game, mom upstairs doing whatever the fuck she doing. Everybody separated. Then you come to the table. There ain't no unison. You know what I'm saying? But you go to a lot of these other countries, they with their family, damn near every day. And they ain't distracted by technology. But you look at them, oh, they poor. That's how Americans look at other nations, man. Like, nigga, you about to be way worse off than them. And then we're gonna see who ain't peace. That's why the scriptures call this the city of the untouched virgin out of Babylon. Untouched place. But it's about to be touched. It's just the Lord just been letting the sins pile on up. Because this is the place of the great judgment. You wait till the Lord judge this place, man, and judge you people in your pride and haughty looks. Right? You able to go New York. If you ever been to New York, the place where they don't sleep. You able to dine out 2 a.m. You in New York, you able to dine out 2 a.m., 3 a.m. The place really don't sleep. I'm in fucking, I remember where I'm in fucking, I think it was Applebee's. 1 a.m., 2 a.m., eat. You go to other country, shit closed 7 o'clock. Open bar. Open bar. You eat a burger, 2 a.m. Fries, like, what the fuck? Right? Other nations, they had breakfast, they had dinner, they went to sleep, 9 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? Here, Las Vegas, all night, showing their areas, man. This place is filthy.
Oh, if I may, other countries allow you to take a siesta. But of course, a break. You know, you go to work at 8, you take a siesta by 12, you don't come back to 4, maybe 5, and work the rest of your day.
Yeah, the work system ain't like here, unless you go to like one of those totalitarian countries where they have slave shops and shit. But yeah, like the brother said, work is different. You know, here they fucking shit. I heard like Amazon warehouses, that shit is straight slave.
That shit, I heard about that.
Like straight slave. Like they in the warehouse. Like I get 12, 13 hours straight.
Yeah. Now, if you read
Heard that.
the
That's how you scared of like the watch
your the hiring manager or whoever supervisor on the floor lets them know that you're in the bathroom and stuff like that.
See?
The little scanner, the beeper goes off.
See?
Track on.
No, it's an easy thing for people to get their packages where they just, thank you. But you don't see the rigorous and the total shit that goes behind it. You got people dying in fucking warehouses. Getting this shit out. Because they got to put, you know how many people, we all on Amazon order this shit. You know what type of work, labor force it takes to push out that amount of packages? I ain't gonna say where I work, but I'm in that industry. And like, bro, people work to get you your stuff, man. But you get it, you just like, you order 20, 30 packages. Them motherfuckers in the
2-day shipping or 1-day shipping.
dying on the clock.
2-day shipping, 1-day shipping.
Oh, niggas dying in the clock, dying in the well. They caught, they hire new niggas. And they always hire people right now. Amazon ass hire. These niggas keep quitting and they fake.
That's crazy.
The pig slaughter joint in Smithfield. You know, man, people fell out. That shit is like a sweat box. Like, they gutting pigs. Like, 2 people, you know, right? They fell out. Boom, one dude fell out. Banged his head on the joint and died. This one, Johnny Cochran was alive. Yo, John, and they make mad money. Johnny Cochran took a personal jet over there and spoke to the big dog in Guardi. And he was like, yo, you know, I'm here for representation of the family. The owner wrote him a blank check and told him carry your ass. You know what I mean?
Oh, damn.
Yeah, you can't come.
Jake.
Huh?
They mistaken the owner of Jake.
Oh,
I
word?
believe he sold it to the Chinese.
Oh, yeah.
A few years ago.
He was in it for himself. He got it. But
He had to get out.
you look at the ground labor force of America. Nobody gives a fuck. Even like right now, they building them bridges, right? You go in the Hampton and stuff. Who you see at nighttime building bridges? What are women on? Oh, every time I've been drove by, it's been men out there in the water, on them big machines.
It's cold out there, too.
But the nigga woman in her ultimate. I'm independent. I don't need a man. How about they don't build no bridges for you to go over? Right? You need a boat. Let's go back to ancient times when you used to have a boat. And it used to take strength to row to your destination.
It's easy to make that statement during good times.
Yeah.
Like what the brother had stated earlier. Weak men bring about bad times, and strong men bring about good times. It's easy to make that statement as far as women are concerned. Be like, I don't need a man, I'm independent, this, that, or the other, during good times. We could go to the store, you can get your bread, you make your money, you know, you can get this bullshit education, you can talk shit to a man because you're protected by your enemy. But when this shit goes down, hey,
Convenience gonna be taken out of the way. So when nothing is convenient for food or getting your nails done or all the things that you may need, you gonna go and seek a man to get these things, or go out and hunt, you know, for your food, man. Or to bring you into the next city. Oh man,
Real men coming back, man. And you got men out here that want to be men again. They've been waiting for their chance to let me be a man, you know. And they gonna take what they want because men are conquerors. Men are hunter gatherers, right? And you women are gonna be the prey.
Any kid.
All you little cute ass women that's been there, them freaks. The freaks come out at night. Them big ass Tyrone, 6'4", 230 hard muscle. Shit. I seen a clip. I think it was in New York. The chick was walking down the street. Dude stuck his fingers up in there. She looked at him. Slap. He caught back. And he started beating. I said, damn.
20 times.
You thought he was this nigga bought it. He said, I'm gonna take it, bitch. And if you hit me, I'm gonna knock you. So she hit me. This nigga went beating her ass in the street. And this shit, at the interview, you see her just getting up and just looking at a nigga on his next victim. There's a lot of niggas like that out here, man. You see them niggas all the time. I used to see them niggas right to catch the bus. You look at them niggas like, this nigga.
I grew up in the 70s, 80s, and I remember when men had their women in check. A woman just didn't walk out amongst men and talk shit to a man. She knew her place, and her place was not around a man being around a bunch of men. You know? Shit, I remember women used to get their ass whipped on the street, bro. In the 70s. I used to see this shit like,
And you see, you got the jakes that still manhandling women, but then you got these bug out zombies that come in. You can't be doing that. And you get the simp nigga coming at rescue. Here it is, this is his woman. And you got a simp nigga, don't even know their relationship, don't know nothing about them. You coming to tell this man to get his hands off his woman. What the Lord tell niggas? Meddle not another man's affair. You can be putting your hands on her. You want to kill this dude, man.
that could be my mother.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
funny.
You ain't put, if you see a nigga hitting on this woman, y'all know you coming.
My sign spirit dude. You know? Anytime something happens to a so-called black woman, here you come on this 2 7, but he don't say nothing about when the man get fumbled over.
You know how many women would keep their mouth closed, they was getting their mouth popped in, but they meant the scripture say spare not the rod. That don't just go for children. Sometimes you gotta pop your woman in the mouth. Especially since how some of them be talking. Man.
You see when
They'll put their hands on you in a quick second. So see, society has a feminized men to where you think you ain't supposed to hit a woman. Then fuck you ain't. The Lord said you stone with.
Cut a hand off.
Yeah, you pull cut her hand off, she grab balls. You gonna put your hands on a woman. It's crazy. She really get out of pocket.
Joe was like, what?
You can't do that now, though.
Yeah, see, we in a society now. We in a society now where they can call the cops. So now you can't do that dumb shit.
You know what I'm saying? Anyway, we move into the kingdom, so you won't have. But if you able to not get the cops on you,
Take this one. I know the trick. I ain't gonna speak on it.
because these women are trying. These women are trying, especially Southern Kingdom. See, I grew up around Southern Kingdom women. Southern Kingdom women put their hands on you. You didn't even put your hands on her first. She will put her hands on you to the point you gonna let her beat your ass, or you gonna have to. Hey,
You gotta pay yourself.
you got to eat that. Just by that black guy. That's what he was aware of that.
I could be in the guitar looking at
They
Tina.
was in a restaurant and her friend.
It's crazy as hell. They can tell you.
They was in a restaurant and I
Mark
think
he looking at Tina like.
Ike was wild though. Ike was crazy.
you see when they was in the restaurant.
But we can't trust that movie either because you know they wanted to pay him to be the villain.
Right.
Tina was in the music industry. You know how they do in the music industry. So I'm sure he didn't see. He seen some shit. He was like, "Bitch, you don't fucking play with me."
Right.
What was you saying, though?
When it was in the restaurant, I think she was with her sister, and she had said something, and then he said, "Bitch, mind your business," and she kept talking crazy to Mike, and then he slapped the shit out of her.
But see, look, feminized society, a nigga in that restaurant be like, "Man, what the fuck you doing?"
Yeah.
But shit, you got men out here that'll do that and then beat your ass. You step in.
I seen that happen.
So you better watch when you step in, because that nigga might be man enough to beat your ass too.
That's what I'm gonna say. You got a complete stranger willing to throw his whole life away over a woman he don't even know.
You seen that dude at the airport, you know, like up in JFK? This dude was looking at women and the simple nigga tried to come up to help. Almost got his ass whipped.
I saw that.
Those days are here.
First of all, we in them times where you need to mind your motherfucking business. You don't know that whole situation. You don't know she might have antagonized them.
Took his money, hurt someone, you know.
And sticking your neck in somebody else's business might be detrimental.
Curiosity killed the cat, man. Jacob's Trouble. If you see a couple and he beating ass, you think you gonna stop and save her in Jacob's Trouble? When everybody fucking going through, you gonna mind your fucking business.
Hey, what's the hashtag protect black women now, right? Yeah. First, then they want to push that the so-called black woman is the most attacked person on the earth. You crazy as hell. It's the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American man. Because we going against these other nations, and who's supposed to be our help? The women don't like how you acting, 911. The women don't like how you acting, Section 8. Get Section 8. Get you out of this
The little find out you got another woman.
Right.
Now the worst thing that ever happened to me from a woman was when she found out I had another woman. I said, "You gonna fucking do that?" They'll fucking put their hands up. Let her find out you got another woman. Either she gonna go the cop route, she gonna try to put a play on you, she gonna call her brothers or uncles, and she gonna physically come to you with a knife or some shit.
probation officer.
I can't. Because they got that Jezebel spirit on them, right? Women ain't supposed to be like that. They're not supposed to be jealous of other women. They're supposed to be happy that their man is able to be a man. You want your man to be a full man. Your man is, here it is, I can shoot off children, I can shoot off three able-bodied men 3 times in one day. Tomorrow you can shoot off 3 times. Wednesday you can shoot off 3 times. I'm supposed to be bound by one woman. I can impregnate 3 women in one day. 3 women the next day. 3 women the next day. But society tells you, oh, you're going to be the one. That's why I sent that image in the chat that said Kim Jong-un, he was like, I find it surprising that America taught people homosexuality is acceptable and polygamy is a sin.
I screenshot that. Because that makes so much sense.
Homosexuality is acceptable, but polygamy is a sin. A man can only have one woman, but he can be a family.
That shows how the Heavenly Father set up the order of this, to what you were saying about, the dominance over man has over women, because, society tells these women that they are equal to us and they can live just like us, right? But
Yeah, that's it.
But I asked him, I asked one woman, I said, how many times can you get pregnant in a month? And she said once. I said, well, how many times can I get a woman pregnant in a month? And she sat there quiet, but that shows you that the Heavenly Father set an order to this. We're dominant over the woman, man. You know, you can get pregnant, you're supposed to sit your ass home. You know, nature, let nature run its course, protect yourself. And while the man goes abroad, and does what he wants.
And then, well, that's the whole, when you go into a law, that's another thing, being up under your woman. Man, I can't be with no woman more longer than maybe, we out and about, okay, I'll give it a day, right? We out doing something. We in the crib, 2 hours max. 2 hours. If I ain't getting no bucks, I ain't about to be up under you fucking for hours. That's why in the law, a woman used to have a separate quarter she could go to for her time period, right? And like the brother was going into when she's pregnant during that time, you're able to, now, if you want to, get another wife, get her pregnant, continue your legacy, your lineage. Now you in the house, she on her period in the house with you. Fucking the fucking, the moon and the fuck the moon, because that's a real thing. Moon got her cycle, she fucking up the cycle. She taking shit out on you, out of order, talking to you all type of crazy, and you gotta sit in there cooking bacon and shit, listening to her. That's madness, man. That's fucking madness, man. She supposed to be out of the house at the time.
Then after her period's over, you know what? I'm sorry for how I was acting. My emotions get to me. But back then what? 20-something days later, and they come back on, she back tearing shit up again. That's
a lot of them were forced to be in the bathroom. Yeah, cuddle with me, be with me. Men gotta be men, man. That's why, like, when we had our own land, you got, like, you see certain houses, but like the one we live, I guess he live got a separate, he lives on the land, right? That would be your woman. She on the land, but she got a separate little house quarter that she go to. Baby, what? You say you bleeding? You know where to go. You unclean right now. You be around me. I gotta be throwing up prayers, all type of stuff. That's how holy we were back then. I gotta be praying to the Lord. I can't be unclean touching you. I gotta repent. How you gonna be throwing up prayers to the Lord and you around an unclean woman 24/7? That was the whole purpose of it. So you're not unclean the whole time while she's unclean. She's not the head, you're the head. She don't make prayers on behalf of the house. You're the head of the household. The Lord listening to you first for her, so she can be like that. You make sure you're doing what you're supposed to do, so the house is covered and protected. Right? Yeah. Now women can do what the fuck they want. You go to wash your clothes, period panties in the fucking shit. Getting washed. You know what I'm saying? It just shows it's the society's fucked up. See, I used to go with my sister. I done seen all kinds of shit in the bathroom. You go in the bathroom, god damn. Bloody Mary, man. Yeah. You ain't supposed to live like that as a man. Young boys growing up. Things are supposed to be simple. That's why, hey, bro, we're going to go back to that belief. Because we're troubled in the spirit about these things. All right? That we have to be around these things, still be in these things. But that's why we come out here to expose the truth. To let the people know what the truth is. And the truth is not supposed to be something agreeable. Right? Have you opened the book of Acts? The prophets was getting stoned. They didn't agree with the truth. So y'all come to us and say, y'all wrong. Well, that don't mean we ain't right in the eyes of the Lord. We wrong to you. That don't mean we're not right in the eyes of the Lord. Just because society says you can do what you want, don't mean that's okay with the Lord. Right. Women come up here and say, I can have more than one man. To who? That's okay to who? Because the Lord said you can't. Society said you could. Right? So y'all reaping the benefits of what the society wants you to have right now, but wait until the Lord requires your judgment. Right? Wait until you got to adhere to the things you've been doing. He called you back into the spirit realm. How many of our grandmas say you can have more than one man? That's what the Lord asked you. He said you can have more than one man. Who you talking to? What you gonna say in that day? You don't better say nothing. Or you thought you could be a fan? You What you gonna say to the Lord? Well. You ain't gonna be able to speak in the presence of the Lord. That's the thing. Your judgment is gonna be sealed. You ain't nothing to say in the presence of the Most High Supreme Yahweh. You just gonna be a being up there and just wherever He caught you on, because your judgment is sealed. You ain't nothing for you to say. Ain't nothing. Yahweh shall speaks on our behalf. Ain't nothing for us to say to the Most High Yahweh. Everything we doing right here is for Yahweh shall to chapter 4. Okay, Father, we don't go to Abba Yahweh right now. And call ourselves talking to Him. You out your fucking mind? He came and spoke to us one time as a nation. And we said never again. Moses, he gonna kill us, Moses. He gonna kill us. You talk to him. That show you what type of power we serve. They say he gonna kill us. The power that delivered you. Right? So we come to Yahweh Shah. We humbly recognize, look, we sinners and we need mercy. And that's why we need this Baruch. Go ahead. The book of Ruth. But see, these people out here that look at us with disgust, what do they repent to? Who do they repent to? Where's their shameless at? Right? Do they have shamefulness for their pridefulness, their haughtiness? Right? And a lot of you, the elder all the others from Dallas said a beautiful thing last night. A lot of you all of you are just rape victims, right? You just accepted being raped, right? The raper come down to the basement. If you numb to it, he just lay on top of you and take whatever. Y'all work these jobs, 9 to 5s. Y'all eat, you go to these restaurants. You go through the same routine, or you just accept it because it's all you been given. It's all you know. You're just a rape victim that's accepted what's been given to you, right? You don't make none of the laws. You don't make none of the decrees. As soon as the World Economic Forum say, "Oh, we believe there's going to be a new virus coming," we believe a cyber attack is going to have a nothing to get y'all included. None of this shit was anything before us till y'all start speaking it up, right? But we have no say in these things. We're left out of the loop. We don't know none of them niggas that was at that meeting. I ain't seen none of them niggas before. But they making decisions on our lives.
Yeah, pretty much.
We never had a conversation with these niggas. We never sat down and broke bread. He don't know my mama, I don't know his mama. Right? And he making a decision on my life. That's going to affect my whole day. When the C-19 shit happened, that affected our whole life. We had to put fucking masks on. And I hated putting that shit on. It got to a point where I had to put the fucking shit on. I'm in the airport now. I have to put the shit on, or they're gonna lock me up. They'll literally detain your ass. You want to hear without a mask? Right? You had certain stores, you literally had to put the mask on. Like they wouldn't let you in the store. Now, in the beginning, we was okay. We were like, we ain't putting the shit on. We in the store, looking at niggas, weirdo. But then it got to a point that we had to be in this shit with the fucking looking. That shit was vexing, man. You in the line with your groceries, you got the shit. You like, well, and then in that moment it said,
See, but more vexing. It was vexing then, so even now that it's over, you don't have to wear it. You got jabbets still wearing it.
oh, bitch that work next to me. Bitch got the mask. Morning, bitch got the mask. 2023, bro. Bitch got the mask on, man.
Have to get the jab.
You know the silly is, you know the silly is that Jake, like I said, when Jake would do anything captivity, and after that, they'll make like designs of the mask and all that stuff. You know? It's like, Jake, you know, he designed it.
One of them super brews. He had the fringes on this shit. He said Kwam Yasha Allah. It's
Jake, man, ain't it because of Jake, man. You mean Jake always gotta make something.
Well, that's Jake though. Jake always gotta make something, flashy. Like even in prison, they got Jake that they put a little stab on their jump.
No, like you said, they even took the posters. Some of them multiple doses, because you have to be, what it is they call it, you have to have, so if you got 2 doses, certain brands say you take 2 doses, you have to complete it. You complete it so you can travel here. If you only got 1, they'll say, oh no, you can't travel here, you ain't complete it. You gotta get your other dose. Then you can travel. So you gotta keep getting jabbed. Then they said they looking into having an annual potion injection, so where you get it every year.
Oh,
We gotta get the fuck out of here, man.
Oh,
And it's only gonna get worse because they about to release an upload, right? And then you can just feel it in the air. That's some shit finna fucking happen. You just feel it. We coming up with Parasol, right?
Yeah.
You just feel it like this double. Bullshit. This fucking Ren and Stimpy nigga, Pinky in the brain. You know, you just feel like he in the lab is doing some shit.
Mr. Smithers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, kind.
Dexter's laboratory.
Yeah, I'm like, laboratory.
That nigga they cooking up some shit with this out here, man. That's why we stay in service big.
That's how the movie contains.
We ain't concerned about what's the nigga name? Tyrone? Tyreek. We ain't concerned about that nigga. He in the spirit realm. We concerned about our tasks the Lord put us in to do. You ain't fooling us, devil. Then you got the Super Bowl, you got Rihanna about to perform.
No, that's
A heavy witch. She's a heavy fucking witch within the music world. Who knows what the fuck type of spell she gonna be doing, putting on the people. Oh, nah. No, for real, this shit real, bro. And the people in the crowd getting hypnotized and shit.
He said, oh, nah.
She got that accent too. You know what I mean? Got that Bayesian accent.
Chicken.
Yeah, kind.
Man, you know, she attractive women, so you know the dudes are gonna be.
Yeah.
The game's down.
That bitch is a demon, man. What you had that pastor come out and say he went to hell. He went to hell and everybody was singing Umbrella. So it's a whole bunch of witchcraft and sorcery. You gotta understand, brothers. The Lord has given Eve the left-hand side powers. This nigga literally he's a warlock. So he's able to manipulate the things you see in sports, the things you see in the news. Everything is scripted and written for, a bitch slipped up in the soccer shit. She said, whoever scripted this game did a heck of a job. The dudes went there like the fucking World Cup shit. She's like, whoever scripted this game did a great job. On the panel. Slipped the fuck up, man. Everything around you is fucking orchestrated and scripted. You can't trust shit.
Everything is fake. Every single thing that you know of is fake.
Fucking Will Smith getting on stage slapping Chris Walker. These niggas was in dresses. This nigga was on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air in a fucking dress next to this nigga. Like playing a woman. So they been in cahoots. They didn't give a fuck about Jada Pinkett to get on that fucking stage and slap this nigga.
He was laughing at first, and after that he got mad. You know, like, come on, man.
And a lot of these celebrities don't even be in America. Like, a lot of them be out of the country. Not even affected by the societal rules that you were affected by. Niggas be in places in Europe, Dubai, all type of shit. The only time they really be out here is when they got concerts and shit. Niggas don't be in America, man.
The Book of Baruch, chapter 3.
Even in like a lot of these countries, like you look at Korea, China, they have their own superstars. Now, of course, they still look at these Drakes and these mega superstars over here as like the thing to be. But they have their own superstars. They have Korean superstars. Yeah, Bollywood. They have their own celebrities. Like how you look at Denzel, they got their own Denzel in India and shit. So don't you look and think America? No, they got their own shit going on.
Okay.
People marvel at America and emulate it, but they got their own shit going on. Man, when you leave America, as you see it, you realize that America ain't life. But they'll have you think that America is life. What the fuck it ain't? You can live without being here. Because people are doing it on everyday basis. America's a false dream given to people, right? And if I was in the world, I would have been left. I'm telling you right now, I would have been started somewhere. Passport, bro, for real. Ain't no man in the world in his right mind should be over here in fucking America. Hell no. As much sorcery that goes on around here, the stuff they about to put on the books to lock you niggas up. The women are corrupt. You can't blame them niggas that's leaving the country. They think that's their hope. But see, us in the truth, we realize we supposed to be. We have a task at hand. Right? The scripture says the prophets before us prophesied against many kingdoms. They stood in the kingdom of their captivity and prophesied against it. Why? Because their people are there in captivity. And the enemy is there. So we have to be here. Right? We ain't supposed to get a passport, go to the Philippines, get a Filipino chick, hold her hand, yeah, I'm in heaven. That ain't what we supposed to do. We supposed to be prophets. Right? Then when we get beamed up, we'll be able to go to the Philippines, do whatever the fuck we want. Without having to court them. This bitch, come on.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, kind of
We gonna get it the right way.
got
Cause princes ain't supposed to be courting no bitch. We ain't supposed to be taking no chick out, sitting with her at the you know, $500 Ruth Chris. The hope you get the draws at the end of the day. Cause it's a hope.
You see a dude that flew that girl out, spent 5 bands on it. He got so mad, he went on live.
You funny.
This bitch, I done flew this bitch out and spent all my money. And she's sitting there like, well, I never said I was going to give you no ass, you know what I mean? Yeah, dude.
But that's weak though. I mean, why would you fly a female out just for some box?
Yeah, he wants some box.
That's weak though.
Yeah, it's weak, but hey, they in the world. You know? Hey, faith is the evidence of things. You at the dinner, you hoping. You know what I'm saying?
You say he was 11.
You know? Faith is the evidence of things not seen. You got your best cologne on. He put the work in.
He in the mirror like,
you know what I'm saying?
She gonna like this.
Pay $100.
You trying to remember your game that you was like, what's that shit I was thinking I was gonna say that? Yeah, some sort of look. You know, you trying your best. Then at the end of the night, she get out the car. Hi, thanks for the dinner. Shit, look.
Free food. That's
Yeah,
right there.
you know what I'm saying? You got that look like, oh, you don't fucking know.
You want me to walk into the door?
Yeah.
You know, open. She changed.
Yeah. You funny. You should give it to somebody just on the one day.
Yep.
One interaction.
One drunken occasion,
Yep.
right? Just one hot moment. That's what's driving these men crazy because men are doing these things. That's what a red plate community is so big. Because men are actually doing this. I had a Jake on the class. I should tell me, dude, I've been on these dating sites. I just been spending all my money taking these chicks out, and they really just running game on me. They're not calling back, texting me back. He just telling me, yeah, I went here, I took this chick here, I took this. I'm like, stop. Just stop.
Can I say something? That shows you how much the woman has fallen because these women are gaming men just for a plate of food. When at least when I was coming up, the women was cooking in the crib. These women don't know how to cook no more. They want to game somebody because they know the value of the power you know, the box. Oh, I just want to go ahead and go get a good plate.
That's fair.
You know me, get a couple drinks, and then I'm going to go home and call my homegirls. I'm going to call Tyrone, Big Willie Tyrone, to knock my brains loose. You know what I'm saying? You know me, and that's fucked up, man. This place got to go, like the brother said. Why women ain't cooking no more? You know? Attempting to at least.
Yeah, and like I said, you can go on YouTube. Like I said, there's a study about how, like I said, that dating site is a waste of time because, like I said, these women, like I said, man, you could be an average 4 or 3, and like I said, some dude is gonna message you, man. Like I said, they prove it. Like I said, they even tried to switch it around for a woman that, you know what I mean, to quote unquote pretend to be a dude, and you know what I mean, she wasn't getting no basically no replies. You see, wow, it makes sense why these women are able to get, you know, these dudes and stuff like that, man.
Because the men are the hunters, so she gonna hear herself too.
Yeah.
The men are the hunters, so the men are gonna dominate the site. So the cute ones, everybody clicking on the cute ones. So she got this hundreds of dudes. So she ain't pressed by you, and if she do allow you to take her out, you just one in line.
Yeah.
She weighing her options.
And then, you know, a lot of women is hip to the bullshit. Jake be saying, you know, dudes be saying, man.
Because of niggas like
Steve
Harvey, how to think like a man. I hope the Lord shoot a fucking missile right in your living room, nigga. I hate that nigga, man. One day I didn't have my goddamn aux cord, and I had to drive to work and listen to the radio shit. I couldn't stand it, man.
I think he on his 3rd marriage. You know what I mean?
That's a simple nigga, that.
Yeah, but you know
You
that
got his
shit.
daughter.
At.
Yeah, man.
If it's one nigga I wish the dad is Steve Harvey. If I had to choose one nigga, that nigga got to go.
Yeah,
His
one
daughter
nigga
like
got
it, man.
Oh yeah, Shawn
Yeah.
Michaels. And she was, I could.
And then she with
She
the
was
homie now.
with Future before her.
She was with Puffy.
Ran through.
then messed
Yeah,
with
she
Puppy's
was-
son,
Yeah,
right?
Lord,
Right? She was with the father, then was with the son. But society is making her seem like she's just the baddest woman on earth. She's a harlot,
Yeah,
yo.
no woman look that good. There's no woman on the earth that look that good. I haven't seen one.
Well,
that
they
make-
reserved for her somewhere in Brazil or somewhere that nobody don't know nothing about. You know what I'm saying?
No, hey, it ain't no Judas on this earth. All right?
Oh,
Ain't no woman walking around that's gonna stop men from fighting. You start, oh shit, you know. You men are just lost your way of what it is to be a man. You simple for women that are mediocre. Like the point I was going, we princes. We're not supposed to be spending money on a fucking woman just to hope we get pussy.
yeah.
Right? If you're in a relationship with a chick and you born with her, that's different. You're having an outing. But you doing it with the hopes of getting ass, that's a low state. You just supposed to. Abraham took Sarah. Hey, they went to tent. Oh, we betrothed? Okay, that's consummated. He ain't taking the ruby trees off.
That's
They
what-
were in the
Whatever they
tent.
had back then.
if men be straight up from the, I can speak for myself. When I'm just meeting the female, I can draw the line in the sand from the first. This is where I'm at with it. You know what I mean? You know, ain't no baby, this and that lying. That's that baby face shit.
It's funny you should say that. I had a conversation with my daughter. My daughter was like, I met this dude. She said, I met this dude. You know, he's in the Goku and all this other stuff, and you know, blah blah blah. And my daughter said that he looked at her and was like, I ain't gonna kiss. And my daughter was like, what? Who are you? You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking to my daughter, and I'm like, you know what? I respect him more than that dude that would play the field just to get a kiss.
Yeah.
At least he told you what he wanted, and you knew what he wanted.
Because you gonna kiss somebody anyway.
Exactly. At least you walking up and knowing what this man wants from you.
Yeah.
You know?
They all want the same thing. He just came out and said it.
Yeah, she gonna respect that.
And
move.
these
I
women,
respected him for it.
yeah, these women are crazy, man. Because here it is, they'll deny one man, they go do way more nasty shit. With
Whatever, yeah.
It's like Peter's denied this man, and now you slurping up this man's children
But that
in
other
the crib.
man might be an alpha.
He busted all on her face. No, this is the reality though. She get in that crib, getting her face busted on, right? Getting shit shoved up her butthole. Then she come to prison, you stuck up.
Yeah.
And you can't have this. This
You gave it away for less.
Kinda, yeah, pretty much.
and cause these niggas in the world are wild. They doing all type of shit to these women. They got
Especially in
fetishes.
college, you know.
These niggas like getting they, you know what?
Trained.
8 out.
Trained, oh.
I've heard it from women's mouth.
Violation.
These men got weird fetishes they be having these women do. And that's why you get these women, they be turned out. You get one of them, you like, damn, who the fuck taught you all this shit?
Yeah, right.
You know how you spot her. Tell her, hey, this is typical bro. You don't talk me right. If she know how to, depending on how she rides you, you know she been ran through. Cause she gonna ride you like a fucking pro. You know when you got a woman in the bedroom, if she been ran through. Now you just know. Cause the shy ones, the timid ones, you know, even the whores up play shy for a minute.
Yeah,
But
but
once you get into the action, you know.
We talk about a second.
I never did this
Oh
before.
yeah,
You know, I never did this before.
I ain't teach you that shit.
for real. That's real.
Real.
You ask her to suck it and she doing what she doing.
Yeah, you know, got the spit stream
And that-
going on. It's
see,
like, what the fuck?
And that hurts us because it's like a woman is supposed to experience her first everything with you. Whereas if she go on a boat, a yacht, you supposed to take on that yacht. And she supposed to go, oh my God, this is beautiful. I never did. She supposed to get on a yacht with you like, yeah, last time I was on here, he did this.
That's
As a man, but as a
I'll
man,
show you some shit.
yeah, but as a man, it hurts you because it's like,
I
damn,
can see this.
what can I show her as a man that you know what I'm saying that I do this for? Yeah, I took you to the Bahamas. We went to the Bahamas, girl. We did that. It's like what the fuck? A woman's first is supposed to be everything with a man, that gives a man joy. He's showing us. They bring, I know it brings me joy when I'm with a chick and I show her some shit. And then her eyes light up. It's like, oh, she just look. She got that child look on you again. Like she's supposed to look. She's like, okay. Right, but she already did it. It's like, what the fuck? Then we just do it. Oh, I've been in this restaurant. Yeah, I did this. Yeah, it's okay. Then we just eat. Ain't really experience. We could have took this home.
Last guy bought me this, and this.
Yep.
You only bought me this.
Yep. You pull up in your car, but she's been in, you pull up in your car, but she's been in a Corvette, right? So she looking at your car, well, bitch, what if you had to go? Oh, you got baddies. You got baddies in other countries, right? Going back to your point, like you were saying, like Brazil, these are tens. They walk everywhere. They'll love for you to pull up in your Honda, your 1990 Honda, and pick them up. See, they not, and they look way better than what they did. But see, these women here, they're expensive.
They be in shape.
Yeah, because they gotta walk. If they not catching public transportation, they walking, man. I've seen it firsthand. They bad, right? You come here, mediocre chick looking at you. You got regular car. Bitch, you
She got a food.
shit.
Looking like talking to you like, you know, she a mom, America's next top mom.
Bitch barely know proper hygiene.
Right.
You know, we know more about shit. We know
got
more about the herbs. We know more about hygiene. We know more about all types of shit.
She got a bonnet on, SpongeBob, pajamas, some Crocs. Holy ass t-shirt.
And that's why we gotta look, brothers, we gotta look at ourselves like the princes that we are, because if a woman get with us, more will be those men that we're invaluable, right? You can't put a price on a man anymore. Because the knowledge that we can impart to these women is gonna put them on a whole different level. Not only that, what we're bringing into their life is ultimately could be salvation. Because the scripture say a man should be a covert from a woman, right? Women get saved by the head, the man. So if a woman get with one of us who's serving the Lord, they don't realize they literally hit the golden ticket if we endure to the end. Right? So we're not just supposed to be dealing with any old chick, any fucking way. I don't give a fuck what she like. If she's not willing to deal with you cordially, she gotta fucking go. If a woman calls herself checking you, you gotta fucking go. Right? Don't take my phone talking about where you at. Bitch, I'm at camp. That's what I'm ready. I'll hit you up later and let you know what I was doing. Don't be maybe. I might even let you know. That ain't your place. That ain't my place to explain shit to you like that. Man. If I want you to know, I would have told you. You don't need to know. I'm gonna let you know the things you need to know. But see, women think it's their place to ask you questions. Where you been? Where you doing? What you doing? Right? And they don't gotta do nothing for you in return as long as they give you the boss. That's a horrible deal. That's prostitution. That's really what relationships have become. Prostitution. She give you sex, you give her time. What else is a woman doing for you? Is she your biggest cheerleader? Is she motivating you? Is she a pillar of rest? When you come in from work and you lay down and talk to her about your worldly matters and she just listens and okay, all right, he'll be all right. He'll be all right. I'm gonna go make you some tea, right? Or is she black, telling you about all her problems? You gotta take on her world. Just for some vibes.
Right.
No, you cannot. Where we at?
You want that second?
Yeah, let's go to the second. You see something interesting up there?
It's all interesting.
Okay. Yeah, if you got a question, just let us know.
Okay. This book of 2 Esdras chapter 7, and I start at verse 57. It says, "Then answered he me and said, This is the condition of the battle which man that is born upon the earth shall fight." Verse 58, "That if he be overcome, he shall suffer as thou hast said. But if he get the victory, he shall receive the thing that I say."
Yeah, if you be overcome, you should suffer, right? You see it all the time. People be overcome by their flesh, by their worldly desires. Hey, we all got family members that have some type of addiction. The world has overcome. They wasn't able to cope with the troubles of the world, so they took it out on the world, and they got addictions from it, whether it be alcohol, whether it be cigarettes, whether it be hardcore drugs, whether it be being abusive to other people. people that just lash out on other people because they don't like their life. Right? Go ahead. I'm meditating if I want to put some level out of it.
Verse 59, for this is the life whereof Moses spake unto the people while he lived, saying, choose thee life.
Get them colorblind boots on.
Verse 59, for this is the life whereof Moses spake unto the people while he lived, saying, choose thee life that thou mayest live. Nevertheless, they believe
Now,
not.
what's life, brothers? Right, what's life? Long statutes and commandments. That's life. That shows you how to live. That shows you how to conduct yourself throughout society. Right? He got them columbine pants and shoes. Right? He about to shoot up the whole school. That's the pants and the shoes the nigga had on. He had a long trench coat. That's a straight Edomite. It ain't no inch of Jake in that body.
I feel like one of them incels.
Now we're supposed to be in the kingdom next or something like that. Like Apostle Hall said, if I end up in the kingdom and the Edomites are able to be in the kingdom with us, I'm gonna kill Edomite.
He about to fall off.
Fuck that. That's madness, man. That's fucking madness. Go ahead, bro. And you see why the Lord say we gonna lock their ass back up. He let them loose, but we gonna lock their ass. They gotta be locked up, bro. They're the problem with the earth. They're the reason for pedophilia. They're the reason for bestiality. They're the reason for homosexuality. They're the reason for women worship. They're the reason for the demasculation of man. Them. Gad was wicked over here, but at least Gad understood what it was to be a man before he brought his ass over here. At least Gad understood the respect of land and the beasts of the land. At least Gad understood that medicines come from the earth and not from the lab. Food was still real. This man came over here and fucked up everything in the name of manifest destiny.
You didn't consider the latter end?
He destroyed everything when he came over here. Every single thing. In the name of Catholicism and Christianity. And he wants us to stay in that. He wants us to stay in Christianity. He don't want us to teach this. You out of your fucking mind. You the damn devil, the Bible speaks. You the deceiver. You the son of perdition. And you can't prove us wrong. You can't say otherwise. Because you have shown yourself in every instance to be the damn devil, man. What kind of person teaches us that we're black and Africans and then give us Christianity? They don't give us nothing else. The taxes. Right? Tells his people they're white. You're also Christian. Bunch of confusion walking around on the earth right now, man. That's why men get up in age and you ain't knowing shit about life. Men to come to that breaking point in age and like, what the fuck? You're getting up there now. Even women, they get older and like, fuck. And they start realizing, shit, that was my life. They start realizing it's vain. And then they gravitate to what? Their fucking church, which is also vain, but that's all they know. All they know is the plantation. All they know is the plantation doctrine. That's why the scripture say you can't put new wine in old bottles. Right? These people out here are defiled, man. They have to be destroyed. And the brothers that are up here, we have, I guess, the Lord sees something in us, the wall you help us know shine, to give us the light, the eyesight of the sea. Out of everything. It could have been my best friend up there. Could have been my cousin. Could have been my brother. Why me? You know what I'm saying? I didn't encounter many people go out my way. Why not me? Us, he chose us out of everybody. So why you help us on the shelf that we can't take that for granted? Because he didn't have to wake us up. We could have just been bugged the fuck up still drinking Kool-Aid. Through not knowing what the fuck's going on out here, man. But see, what we decided to do is say, you know what? This is the truth. We believe on this. We can teach it. We can make our bodies a living sacrifice. Right? And we're going to do it to the end. Lord willing. Lord willing. Go ahead, bro.
2nd Ezra chapter 7 and verse 59 again. It says, "For this is the life whereof Moses spake unto the people, while he lived, saying, Choose thee life, that thou mayest live." Verse 60, "Nevertheless, they believed not him, nor yet the prophets after him. No,
So they don't believe the prophets. So why are we supposed to get down and out when they don't believe us? Right? That proves they never read the Bible. The whole world agrees with Christianity. That shows you it's not the truth. The Lord said he doesn't love the world. Right? He said he's not in the world. He even said this world is not his world. This world is the company. So if Christianity is the religion, if Christianity is the religion that governs the majority of the world, that shows it's a false world. Because Christianity didn't reach the four corners of the earth. The Bible is the #1 selling book of all time. Right? That's a fact. You can look it up. And Christianity has dominated for centuries. Can't be the truth, bro. Can't be the truth. Go ahead, bro.
it says,
People hate the truth. That's how you know what the truth is. People hate the truth. People don't like the truth. People demonize the truth. Right? People come against the truth because it don't make them feel good. Right? Go ahead, bro.
verse 60, "Nevertheless, they believed not him, nor yet the prophets after him, no, nor me, which have spoken unto them." Verse 61, "That there should not be such heaviness in their destruction, as shall be joy over them that are persuaded to salvation." That's
Yeah, so the Lord said we're going to be more joyful once we get saved than what we were in this destitute state and sorrows. So all we got to do is wait and hold on. But the point there was that the whole duty of man was to overcome this flesh, overcome the world. Right? Don't let your demons overcome you. Yeah, that is. He got it though. He don't play. Then the whole point is to don't let your demons overcome you. Right? The majority of the world allows their demons to overcome you. Right? And that separates the righteous from the wicked. The righteous say, okay, I know I'm a sinner, I know I'm a walk, but I'm not going to be consumed by my lust, I'm not going to be consumed by my demons, I'm not going to be consumed by the things that entice me. Right? I'm going to be able to abstain from the pleasures of the flesh, if need be. I'm going to be able to fast from the pleasures of the flesh, if need be. Right? I can go without Shade Room and Instagram. I can go without TikTok and all goddamn things. Distractions, vain things that aren't worth anything. Right? Those other nations don't give a fuck. Hey, what China don't give a fuck about that shit. Korea don't give a fuck about that shit. Come to America, y'all got time to TikTok all goddamn day. But see, it's about to come a time though when you're not gonna be able to do that. You ain't gonna have the time for that. You ain't gonna be concerned with that. You're gonna be concerned with getting bread in your mouth, water in your tongue. Right? And what does the Lord say? He's about to bring you a famine. But before the famine of the bread comes the famine of what? The water. Which means he's about to take the men that's been teaching these things off the highways and byways, and he's going to take us off YouTube. Which YouTube has already been cracking down on us for the past couple of years, taking down our channels, making more restrictions. Right? YouTube has become a pain in our butt already. But YouTube is going to be shut down. The whole internet is going to be taken over. And that's the day people are going to lose their mind because people run their lives off the internet. Everybody love, and it's called, the new system is ran off what? The Internet of Things. You know how you can back everything up on your phone to the cloud? They want you to be on the cloud. They want your whole being to be on the cloud. That's why they want to chip in you. So your subconscious, everything that you think, everything that you do is put on the cloud that they can track and trace and monitor. Right? That's what the whole social media thing was about. It's all CIA. It began even before MySpace. It was a site before MySpace that was the first major social. Now it was a different. It was some Edomite shit.
Yeah, not
But that kicked off the whole social media shit. Then you had MySpace. Then you had what came after MySpace? Facebook, Twitter, all these things.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It's a different one. It's a different. I forgot the name. It's a different. It was like a real small one. But all those ones was early too. But that all those were CIA operatives that was put up there, right? To monitor the people. You willingly gave them your information. Give me your name. Give me your number. Location. You look at certain people's pictures. They got the location where they ate at. Location where they at. You willingly gave the CIA your business. That's why when you online, sometimes you'll be on a site and the things that you looked at before just pop up advertised to you. What the fuck? How you know I was looking at this hat?
Yeah.
It'll just the things you like will just pop up for you and be advertised to you. Why? Because the AI has gotten smarter. It's learned to learn people. It's computer. It's learning you. The AI, that's what AI is about. Artificial intelligence. The AI is getting smarter and smarter as the years go on. And everybody got their own profile that the AI is making. He like that, he like go here, he like do that. They got everybody on file. And you willingly do it.
You helping them every time you look at your camera. Yeah, every time you look at your phone.
Yep.
Taking a snapshot.
Yep. That's what the elders told brothers to be careful in social media shit, because that shit is gonna come back to bite a lot of Israelites in the ass. Because they're gonna come for you first. You know? And all y'all that's on that damn shit boasting and bragging, they're coming for you first.
Yeah, especially, yeah.
You enemy of the state, man.
Yeah, especially the Hebrew Israelite people. Hey,
You gotta be careful dealing with that shit, man. We behind enemy lines. You know, you gotta use wisdom, be circumspect when you're dealing with that stuff. You know? Go ahead, bro. The Book of Baruch. Even with these new phones, they got location services now on every fucking thing. Every time you download an app, you want to enable location. Every time I couldn't know. Every time I said, no, why you need to know my location? I don't never enable my location service unless I'm using like unless I gotta use like a GPS or something. I gotta search. I'll say they have the option. Use it while allow it while you're using it. So as soon as I log up that, you cut my location. But even then, you should go to your settings and check and see if that shit left on.
And another thing, I don't know, brothers got iPhones. Whenever you see that yellow dot lit, that means that you're being recorded. There's a way to cut that stuff off too. There's in the right corner of the iPhone, there's a yellow dot that lights up. Whenever that lights up, like when we do our videos and we screen record it, we keep that yellow light on and then for whoever got it. If that's on and you ain't on your phone, that means they listening.
They've been updating all this technology for a reason. Keep outsparing you up on what's the bitch? Alexa. That bitch is a goddamn spy. She in the crib. You think she off? Alexa turn on. Like, all right, nigga. Yeah. I'm gonna shut up. I ain't gonna turn off. She listen to everything that's going on in the crib. That bitch don't fucking. And they show you that in that movie Smart House, that old Disney movie. Yeah. When they put the kid with AI, she came to life. And she started putting everybody on lockdown. No, Billy, this is for your good. I'm not you in your room, Billy. You're like, bitch, what the? Let me out my fucking room. This is for your own good. But the AI in human, she thinks that's for your own good. Because she only thinking about the carnal shit, the computer shit. That shit is real, man. That's what society's about to come to. They got these robots. They about to unleash. I seen the new clip. The robot was picking up boxes, jumping, moving. The shit can literally run up on you and grab you, man. Talk your ass, man. That's the society we moving into. A technocracy. That's what it's called. Technocracy. Everything's ran digital. And they want you to be part of it. To where you're just a mindless freak on a database, walking with a chip in you, control and track and monitor everything that you do, which you're already tracking and monitoring, but they want it to perfection, right? To where they don't miss a thing. Because you can still kind of go under the table. Without the chip, you can still do things under the table. Like we're talking about, you can take off your location services and throw the phone for them. You can't, you know what I'm saying, do that with the chip. If it's in you, wherever you go, they know exactly where you're at. That's why they want that. I remember a while back when I worked on the base, nigga that shot the base up, this nigga used to come in and talk to me all the time. Either might be weird. Shot, poked the nigga up on the base. Nigga, he was able to get on base and try to VB from fucking post. He was say the poke a nigga and stab a nigga, oh baby, get the fuck out. Oh, the military, get the fuck in this car and drive all over the people. How did they find him? Phone. We got the word. They were like, they found him, y'all. Nigga ain't know his phone. But people ain't thinking the location tracking. All they had to do was get his phone, just pay his phone, and then leave each. And people go everywhere with their phones. Everybody go everywhere with their phones, which means they always know where you are.
A lot of people that murder somebody, they get caught found guilty because their phones in that area.
They'll go to the last known area where your phone was. And let's say you dump the body off somewhere. He'll start searching that area. That's how they find a lot of
Like when you talk about the enable your location, we have a master location thing in your settings. If you keep it on, click on it, and I'll let you know exactly where you at periodically through the day. You can see your timestamps. So say we on 21st Street, it's going to say 21st Street. It might say Vitamin Shop.
Yep. Bro, I could pull up on my map right now when I left the country. It'll show me on my map where I was, at what time, at what place in that country. Right now, it's recorded.
I got another one.
And that shit tripped me out. What the fuck?
So another way we got people in for memories. You know, talking about the memories.
Yeah.
Now, you know, I go back home, right? I'll just get a text. Share your memories. You were in this town, and it'll show the pictures I took. You were in this town on this day at this time. Then you was over here, and they put a little soft music, like elevator music,
like years back.
Yeah, you see, but it's all it is tracking where you at.
Same thing, same thing on Facebook, Instagram, and all that stuff. Memories and stuff like that.
But that's what they believe though. The Luciferian doctrine, they believe in the all-seeing eye. Like the all-seeing eye is see all, right? They call it Big Brother, where they can see every fucking body, even these cameras, these street cameras and all these. That's why I say it should be no fucking crimes. They allow crimes because they see everything that fucking go on. The CIA, even fucking you got the CIA base over there in Hampton, up in Hampton, stationed in Hampton. The CIA is the Central Intelligence Agency base headquarters is in Hampton. So you know they know us. We done been up in Richmond. We done been fucking. You know they know us. CIA, they got all fucking pictures all up in that motherfucker.
CIA, FBI.
OTAN probably made a stop in Hampton up there. I got a report. Yeah, this what happened, such and such.
Yeah, they definitely got us. I can tell you that.
But it's all good. We don't give a fuck.
It is what it is.
You hear him do what the fuck you gotta do.
That's what the scripture says. It says what? Prepare thyself for temptation.
Fear not him that can kill the body, but fear him that can kill the body and sex.
You ain't got no sex tape with me.
Yeah.
Getting ran by some dudes.
Yeah. That's true though.
You can do that with these celebrities. You can't do that with us.
Okay.
So there's only one thing you can do. Harm our flesh. That's all they can do. They can't buy us off. They can't bribe us. They can't defame us. Well, they can try. The only thing they can resort to is harming our flesh. Because as of right now, where we stand, and I think I speak for every brother up here, we're not taking that shit. You know? Lord willing, that spirit stays on us. Where we say we ain't taking it. I don't give a fuck. If I drop dead right now, I'm not taking it.
You guys gonna get burned up.
Because you still gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? You still gonna die. If you get it, you gonna die. But you're gonna die in a brutal fucking way. Imagine you got the chip and you gotta walk around with a nutrient. You know what type of buttoned up mind you gonna be in? And it ain't no cutting it out, you damn idiot. That shit will become one with your flesh. You're gonna be in tune with the beast system, and you might try to cut it out and die. You end up in the spirit realm, Lord, like, nope, maybe you took. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be like that.
They might have it in you, and then you being recorded, and you something. Damn, I'm gonna take this shit out. You never know, they might press the button on you and bug out and just seize up. Yeah, you just seize up and you out of there right then and there.
You know how much pain you gotta be to actually cut your flesh?
That's total control over you.
Yeah.
You let this devil have total control over you by accepting that they are. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, try to talk you over.
Yeah, but that goes back to the law of the woman who raped, right? I'm gonna make this quick point. I'm gonna let you got a question. I'm gonna let you get your question, right? So
Yeah.
it goes back to the woman in Deuteronomy 22, right? When the unbetrothed woman, when the betrothed woman is crying out, right? She don't get judged because she's crying out. The dude tried to rape her. He's trying to rape her. Well, that's what we're saying right now. We're the bride of the Lord, so we're saying, help, Lord, get us. This nigga trying to penetrate us with his glory. We betrothed to Yahushua. You can't come try to put your mouth in this, right? So according to the law, we're going to be found blameless if we continue to cry out. But for these niggas that don't cry out, that just sleep with this nigga, let him get penetrated with the Quran. What's the law? You got to be put in them with it, bro. See how the Lord works? He's just. Well, go ahead, bro. What's your question?
Oh, shoot. My main question is when it comes to translation, I'm actually seeking to learn. I've done my research. The Holy Spirit has brought.
Come a little closer because the call.
I'm saying the Holy Spirit has brought me to the point where I am actually looking more of like what was lied to me, what was.
So you familiar with
translation after
you
King
familiar
James?
with the Hebrew Israelite movement? You know that?
Yeah, like
so you coming towards the Israelite thing,
right? And one thing that I know, I'm from Alabama, where
I got people.
We was told different. We was lied to. Now up here, I went to a Christian school. We was lied to about a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So my biggest thing is I want to find my, when it comes to the scriptures, what God say it is.
Well, we deal with the King James because it's the complete compiled version with the Apocrypha in there. And, it's backed up by the old documents. Now you have to do your own research to further, because I can't make you believe that the King James is the way, but it is the way. But you have to you have to believe in your own mind. But I want to start off in Deuteronomy for the brother, basically with curses. The main thing that Christianity didn't teach us was the curses. Yeah, you can start with like some of the main points that go down to 68. Because you had early Bibles, you had the Geneva Bible, but what King James did was he compiled the real scrolls that was written down by the prophets into one book. He had those scrolls and he said, okay, the manuscripts that were copied, and he said, okay, I'm gonna compile all the prophets together in one book, right?
And King James version is that?
The King James version is that. Which he was, when you go into the history, you look him up, he was a so-called black man that was fighting so-called white people over there in Europe to get this book out. They didn't want him to produce this.
I was told King James was taking out stuff.
Say that again?
I was told King James took out a few books.
Who said that?
It's an Israelite I know. He's a guy, his name Avi. He said when it comes to the King James version, right after that period, everything before was like more consistent than the King James version, the translation.
See, the reason why we deal with the King, you ever heard of the Dead Sea Scrolls?
Yes.
Like some of them old manuscripts, when you look at the Old Testament and the King James, it backs that up to a T. The books that you need are in here. Now, if he's saying like, I've heard like there's a book of Barnabas and all this other stuff, we don't deal with those other books.
Because the Book of Enoch.
Yeah, Book of Enoch, yeah, like those are not validated. You know what I'm saying? So if he's dealing with that, we don't deal with that. It's not validated, and it's not in the Dead Sea Scrolls. And that wasn't part of the Dead Sea Scrolls that was brought. And the Dead Sea Scrolls was proven to be valid.
And how many books in the Bible, King James version?
How many?
Is it 66?
But you got 13 in the Apocrypha, right?
Yeah, with the Apocrypha.
So
Yeah.
66 plus 13.
And what do you mean by the Apocrypha?
The Apocrypha that's in the King James.
Talk to me about that. What do you mean?
It's called the Apocrypha, but it's like like this King James book. Who got the King James with the Apocrypha? You got it. So like this brother has the King James. He has the full King James authorized version.
Okay.
Now you had a group of so-called white men that came together and took this out.
And that's the one.
Yeah, so you can buy the Apocrypha second.
Okay.
But when you read in the what is known as the Old Testament, you'll find out that it speaks about ancient kingdoms like Babylon, the Medo-Persia, and the Greeks. But it doesn't have the Greeks without the Apocrypha. It jumps straight to the Romans. So the history of the Greeks is in the Apocrypha, but they took that out because it further exposes so-called white people and who they are in the scriptures. So when you read the Bible without the Apocrypha, and they'll say Babylon, Medo-Persian, then they'll jump to the time of so-called Jesus and the Romans. What happened to the Greeks? They took that whole history out for a reason. So it's a lot of good stuff that's in the Apocrypha, which is part of the original King James Scroll.
Damn, just been down. Where would you find that then?
The Apocrypha. Let's get the 1611 King James.
This one right here. You can get it off by Amazon.
1611.
It's 1611.
Let's get the 1611. But if you're not able to get the 1611, then you have to buy the Apocrypha second, the Apocrypha separate, which I think is only like $5, $8, something like that. It's not expensive.
But the extra study Bible as well, the 1600 study Bible, that's a good one too. It got all like the maps and everything in it. And a lot of precepts that match up with it.
Yeah, this is pretty expensive, but like, these study Bibles are real good. This is another reason why we use the King James, because it backs up the Hebrew and the Greek to a T.
And do you speak Hebrew?
Oh, we learn the
In that class?
The Paleo Hebrew. We're learning. We're not perfected in it, but
Yeah.
we're learning.
And what
But the
was-
real Hebrew,
Where? When do y'all learn?
well, in our spare time, because we learn from our teachers, you know, and the blueprint they gave us. We in our spare time learn the words, like the enunciations, the vowels. But that takes a lot.
That takes a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of time.
I have a Hebrew Bible, and it's translated in Greek though. So.
Yeah, it's they got in the Assyrian text. So
Yeah.
we go off of the paleo. So paleo means
Right, like
that's
the
the
blue- like-
earliest.
Yeah, like
closest
the blue
consistent-
letter.
the
Like the
consistent
blue letter.
letter
Yeah, like
of
if you
the
look
name,
at a lexicon in the blue letter, and you try to find a Hebrew word in the Old Testament, it's going to give you the Assyrian letter. So what you have to do is, if you're familiar with the Paleo Hebrew, line up those Assyrian words with the Paleo Hebrew.
Right.
You'll get to it. But that's a whole lot of. That's a whole. We tend to get brothers rooted in doctrine first before you start jumping learning the whole new language. You know. Because if you don't believe it, you don't make no point in learning it.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 34 and verse 16. It says, "Seek ye out the book of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and read. No one of these shall fail, none shall want her make. For my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered it."
So we read we take the whole book, the New Testament and the Old Testament. We don't separate it. But we found out that who they called Jesus, his Hebrew name was Yahushua. Everything that he was saying was in the Old Testament. Right? He wasn't saying anything against the Old Testament, which is they try to say it's different, but he was saying the same exact thing when you actually read it and have an understanding. Everything that the prophet said, he was saying the same exact thing. They even prophesied that in Isaiah. You know, so we read the whole book because that's what the word is. Christianity, like you say, Christianity loves to do it with the New Testament. Right? But the whole laws and statutes of how to govern yourself is in what? The Old Testament. So if we take out the Old Testament, we don't even know not to kill ourselves, not to kill your brother, not to steal from your brother. You take out the Old Testament. But that just shows you how foolish Christianity is. You have to eat the whole roll, the old and the new, to have full understanding. Now let's get the curses real quick. Yeah, go ahead.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 10 and verse 7. It's what it's saying. Then said I, Lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me. So the volume of the book that he talks about is written of the Messiah. Throughout the world.
And the further proof that when he first came on the scene, he read out of the scroll of Isaiah. Right? So you gotta have. Without the Old Testament is actually more important than the New, in a way, because Yahushua he was in the Old Testament.
Yeah.
You know, you need that because he was the Passover lamb. Why is he known as the Passover lamb? What do we know about the Passover from? The deliverance of Egypt. The whole Ark of the Covenant, the tabernacle. The temple was based off of what? The tabernacle. The first tabernacle of Moses. So that Old Testament is very instrumental to a lot of things Yahushua did when he was on the scene. He was fulfilling the feast days. You know? Let's go ahead and get the first.
It's book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and I start at verse 14. And thou shalt not go aside from any of my...
Read what he said if you
Okay, Con.
He told him, if you hear,
That's the next one.
Yeah, this is the next one. You want to continue this one?
yeah, go ahead.
It says, and if thou shalt not go aside from any of the words which I command thee this day, to the right hand or to the left, to go after other gods to serve them. Verse 15.
Yeah, because Christianity, the main thing Christianity didn't teach us was who we are, and why we the only nation without any type of power structure on the earth. Right? Now, when we actually got the true understanding of this Bible, and we read the story of the Israelites at Mount Sinai, what the Lord told them, look, if you don't adhere to what I'm telling you right now with this covenant, I'm going to punish you to some statutes. Right? Let's keep reading.
Verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh, thy power to observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I commanded thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
We never heard that in the Christian church, that the Lord put curses on his people. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. Verse 17. Cursed shalt thou be in thy basket and thy store. Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body.
You pay taxes to the government, right? That enslaved you. That's being cursed in the city. Cursed in the field, that's labor, right? And we already know if you want to take it to the plantation, we was really out in the field working, right? Not getting no wages. Now you get some wages. In some cases, a lot of our people get minimum wage. What the hell is minimum wage? What the hell is a minimum? A man is supposed to get a just due wages according to the law.
Every day.
Every day. You're supposed to get paid after each day that you work. But under your oppressor's kingdom, your captor's kingdom, he pays you bi-weekly, every 2 weeks, of breadcrumbs. That's curses. Right? Now, the people in the land of Israel today, what you'll find out is they're actually the ones that own the banking system that has these statutes on us, that has us in this monopoly race. But then they say that they're the people of the Lord. Well, this scripture says that this curse is on the people. That's one curse y'all don't fit. Because how are we going to be troubled in the city and in the field, but you own the city and the field? You can't be the people. Go ahead.
I'm going to jump to verse 20. It says, the Lord shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke, and all that thou settest thy hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doings.
Yeah, whatever we set our hand to, we didn't accomplish. That's why you see instances like Black Wall Street, and there was many Black Wall Streets. Right? You had places in North Carolina, Chicago, Detroit, New York, where Jake came together and built these so-called black communities that had their own banks, movie theaters, buses, taxis. What happened? The enemy was able to come in and destroy those cities. How? Because those curses, right? When to this day you have a Chinatown, not just in New York. You got a Chinatown in California. Why are they able to have Chinatown, but you wasn't able to have Black Wall Street? They're not under the curses you are, right? Go ahead.
It says, because of the wickedness of
Let
thy
an
doings.
Israelite group right now, let let's say 5,000 Israelites go build a community somewhere. They got their own bank, schools. Man, Esau wouldn't allow that shit. That's why you haven't seen it yet. Why? Because we're under the curse. Christianity didn't teach us that. Go ahead.
It says, because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me, the Lord shall make thee pestilence cleave unto thee, until he have consumed thee from off the land, whither thou goest to possess it. Verse 22.
Oh yeah, those pestilence. Like I said, what do they do when we're born? What, they drug us, Ritalin and all that stuff. I mean, they use medicines, antibiotics against us. Like the Tuskegee experiment right now with the potion right now. Who's that made for? It's made for our people, man. For what? For our destruction.
Yeah, we didn't have no say in that. We couldn't tell them don't unleash the potion. Pfizer, don't unleash it. We don't want it. No, you had to take it. A lot of Jakes, especially in the military, they had to take it to keep their job. That's not a free person. If you have to inject something in your body to keep your job, how are you free? That sounds like a slave to me. Either you take this or you lose your job, your way of survival. Christianity don't have the answer to that. But the truth does. The truth tells you you are under curses under your enemy, so you have to go to him for the one of all things. Right? Go ahead.
It says, the Lord Yahweh shall smite thee with consumption and with a fever and with inflammation.
That inflammation, what is there? A lot of our people have what? High blood pressure, diabetes, cancer. Especially down south. You say you from Alabama, my people from down south. A lot of my people suffer from that. Diabetes, high blood pressure, just from the diet that they eat. Right? It's very salty. They love that pork. Right? Love the pig. Right? Go ahead.
It says, and with a fever and with inflammation and with extreme burning and with the sword and with blasting and with mildew, and they shall pursue thee until thou perish. I'm going to jump down to verse 29. Verse 28.
Yeah. He said extreme burning. That's all those sexual transmitted diseases all people got. Right? Go ahead.
It says, verse 28, the Lord...
Which those were created too. Those were man-made diseases. All these diseases are man-made. Just so you know. All right? He unleashed these on people. When the Lord put us in the garden of Eden, he didn't give us syphilis and gonorrhea. So-called white man did that. AIDS wasn't in the garden of Eden.
It says, and thou shalt, verse 28, and the Lord shall smite
you.
thee.
Magnums and Magnums wasn't in the garden. We didn't need Magnums. Go ahead.
It says, verse 28, and the Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and an astonishment of the heart. And thou shalt group at noondays as the blind gropeth in darkness. And thou shalt...
Let's talk about all people being confused, all people gravitating to every different religion. You're groping for something you can't find, because you can't find what your help. How do we get out of this situation? Black Panthers, Black Power, Muslim, Christian. Help. You groping in the dark. You seeking you can't find. Yeah, the Lord got you blinded. You don't know where your help is. I'm African. I'm timid. I'm black.
Uncle Ruckus.
Can't
Can't get down.
Yeah, fuck that, I'm off the tone.
Samuel Jackson, what was his name? The Samuel Jackson that played Django, what's his name?
Django?
No, not you. Oh, it's talking about the movie about Samuel Jackson. What did he play? What's his name?
I can't remember. But he was an Uncle Ruckus type.
Yeah, all the time.
It says, as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee.
Yeah, the Lord said no man gonna save you. Right? Not Martin Luther King, not Malcolm X, not Muhammad Ali. Right? Not give me Nat Turner. Nat Turner knew he was an Israelite. He couldn't say something. I'm about to kill these motherfuckers.
When the serpent was used.
But the scriptures tell us not to take vengeance on ourselves. So even though Nat was in the right spirit, he wasn't in the right spirit. So it led to his death. He was able to take some Edomites with him though, but he found out that wasn't the solution. Right? Right?
It says, verse 30, thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build an house.
You see that all over the place. Different nations of men with all women choosing other nations. Okay? If you ever leave a country, I'm gonna tell you right now, I've seen it firsthand. It's a whole bunch of old freaky ass Edomites in South America without women. They literally they take their money and they go to where our people are in the Caribbean, and they go deal with all women. You'll see it. She'll be 18, 19. This nigga 60, old Edomite. I asked chick, I was like, what the fuck? She's like, it's normal. It's just normal. So they got all women. Nasty as hell. But what can we do about it? Well, we supposed to have that nigga in chains. He's able to travel the country and deal with any woman he wants. While our people are here working and toiling day in and day out for their bread. You can't just catch a flight the way they want to go. But if you leave these countries, I'm telling you, you're going to see nothing but Edomites. I had one sitting next to me on the plane. He's showing me his fucking girlfriend of all nations. That shit ain't. I was ready to take the whole plane down. We all go to the spirit. You know, but you have to sit there and take it. Why? Because that's our punishment for disobeying our power. Right? We went into a covenant with him, and we said, okay, you chose us to be your royal people. We're going to obey your law, statutes, and commandments. But we didn't do that, so now we're in a period where we're still suffering the last burst of those curses. We're still suffering the latter end of those curses. We're almost done, but we're still at the end of America. So we have to wait till America's destroyed, and then we'll be delivered out of here. You know. But while we're in America, we're still under these curses. Right? Right?
It says, "Thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein."
You see that all the time. You see that in the plantation we built Master's house, and you see that now. Hey, Issachar, the so-called Mexicans, they build nothing but houses 24/7. It ain't for them. You go check and see where Issachar live. The Mexicans live. They live in the trailer parks, right? They live in apartments, packed too. Be like 10 of them in an apartment. Then they go, they wake up in the morning, clock in, and go build houses for Edomites with money. That's a curse, man. Right? Go ahead.
It says, "Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and thou shalt not gather the grapes thereof."
Basically, we're the labor force. We're not in charge. See, we're supposed to be in charge of the food industry. We're not supposed to just go in Aldi's and look on the shelf and, grab this brand of food, which is owned by a so-called white family that's making money off of it. You just got to eat it because that's just what they're on the shelf. No, you're supposed to be in control of that process. You're supposed to see the animals on the farm and see what's going on, so you know that it's real food. That you're managing the whole process, not it just comes to a city near you and you don't know where it came from. That's just all you know because it's been given to you from who? Your ruler, the so-called white man. Look at these name brand companies and see the families that own them. They're all so-called white people. They ain't Jakes. They're not the people on this side. The so-called African Americans, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Y'all don't own anything. Most y'all own is a mom and pop diner that's getting taxed, can be taken out of business at any moment. If they bring another pandemic, y'all ain't gonna be able to stay afloat. That's the most Jake own. Maybe it's a t-shirt company. But when it comes real power structure, real infrastructure, and institutions that run the world, all people don't have not one foothold in it. Whether it's the banking system, food system, military system, we're not in control of none of it. That's why you don't see us at these world meetings. Where was the Jakes at the Davos meeting, the World Economic Forum meeting?
That was
You know, yeah. You look at the people that created the injection juice, right? They're all so-called white people. But they told you so-called black people, they told you gotta take it. Then the dude, the owner of the shit, he didn't even take it. But he told you gotta take it. If that's not a slave, I don't know what it is. Christianity don't have the answers for that. They gonna tell you, just pray to Jesus and take the juice. We don't know what's in it, but just pray to Jesus and take the juice. The Lord said, don't put that shit in you, man. For one, the Lord said, make no incisions in your flesh, make no cuttings in your flesh. So that's against the law anyways. You're not supposed to be just stabbing yourself up with shit. Go ahead, bro. Christianity don't teach you that. Go ahead, bro.
Jumped around to verse 32. It says, "Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thy eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all day long."
That's the slave trade. We were sold in auctioning blocks. Christianity don't teach us that. And even right now, there's a major problem in Native American communities up there in Canada, and in a lot of reservations where the young women are being kidnapped and shipped to these European countries. Arizona, they're being shipped to these European countries. A lot of it's happening on a lot of these different reservations, man. It's a big thing, and I personally think a lot of the heads of these reservations are in cahoots with who's ever doing it. There's no way that women are just missing like that, and nobody within the inside circle has something to do with it.
Man, that verse right there reminds me of remember Blood Diamond?
Yeah.
Remember he went to the fence and he seen his daughter and his wife. They was looking for his son, I believe his son, and he just started wailing. Got on his knees and started wailing. That was happening like crazy. In them days.
I remember Roots, Kizzy. Kizzy now, Kizzy was Kunta's daughter. Now Kunta was supposed to be a good boy now. Master love him, master love his family. We don't touch Kizzy, we don't touch your wife. Kunta be good. But all it took was one Edomite to come to the plantation one day and say, like Kizzy. And what the master of the plantation said, you like it?
Thomas Kunta, I wouldn't sell it on, man.
I like it. So he ended up giving Kizzy the money. And that's what Kunta said, I'm running big. If Kunta said I wasn't gonna run no more, he said I wasn't gonna run, I wasn't gonna try to escape no more. He had his family. After that, Kunta said I'm out this bitch. You know? But that's the curses, man. Your children should be given to another people. Old ass, nasty ass Edomites laying with our women. And we had no say in that. They show you that in that movie with the Butler. Where, David Banner was in the field with his son, and Mariah Carey played his wife. And the overseer came to the field and said, that was just a routine thing. She knew what time it was. And the son looked at his daddy and said, Daddy, you ain't gonna do nothing? Then when daddy tried to do something, what happened? Got his brain blown.
That was awesome in that tournament.
It was.
That was in that tournament as well.
12 years a slave. You remember doing that auction? Remember when Solomon was with the girl? Remember when they got captured and then he had to go through the boat and then they got auctioned and then, like I said, he was a so-called good slave master. Like I said, he wanted the whole family, but it was too expensive. So the other dude came to Esau. You see, I went to God. She was quote unquote biracial, but she was exotic. So so they sold her to a different place. The mother tried to he said, please take my family. And he said, no, she's too good. So she sold a different daughter. Somebody else.
Yeah, they used to take the light-skinned Jakes and put them in the house. They was more so-called pleasant to look at. That was big down there in Haiti too, the Caribbean. They call them mulattoes. Right? They used to call them mulattoes, put them in the house.
It says, and there shall be no might in thy hand. Jump down to verse 45. It says, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hast hearkened not unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee.
That's why you had a lot of Negro spirituals during that time too. That was passed down. Go down Moses, swing low, sweet chariot. A lot of those songs that we was singing over here, the scriptures even tell you they required a song from us. Sing us one of them songs from Zion. We used to sing on the plantation. Kumbaya. Which it has Yah at the end of it, which we know the Most High's name is Yahweh. But even when you look at the Native Americans, a lot of their vowels and pronunciations is the That's the Hebrew, that's the ancient Hebrew. But Esau and the so-called white men they just saying a whole bunch of mumble jumble. They were actually speaking Hebrew. And in that book, The Lost Tribes of Promised Land, by this guy James Adir, he tells you how when he accounted the Native Americans, they actually said the Most High's name to him. He said he heard them say Yahweh in that book. He said they would say Yahweh. They had to be around the fire with the end say Yahweh. Right? That's the history he want to take away from us, man. But we come back to that. But now we speak this bastard English that they think is proper. English is the worst language on the planet. Caveman language. But we forced to speak it because it was put on us. We ain't no saying this shit. We was born into this bullshit. Right? You Hispanic tribes, y'all proud of that Spanish. Don't you know your forefathers was raped and slaughtered for you to speak that shit? And you take pride in that, speaking that bullshit. That hola, como esta, muy bien. They take pride in that shit, man. We all speaking our oppressor's language.
It says, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy power to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. So it's basically a sign showing that we're under these curses. You know, you got other Israelite camps or these so-called believers, you know, looking for a sign, looking for something to seek for. What a sign is right there, man. All you gotta do is look at the curses, and you measure yourself upon those curses. And if you fit in those, you're an Israelite, man. The Spirit bears witness with our spirit that we're the children of the Most High. It says, verse 47, because
basically, if you don't fit these curses, you're not Israelite. Because the curses are an indicator of who they would be and where they would be in the last days. And there's a common similarity throughout the scriptures with the Israelites. Every major kingdom, heathen kingdom that ruled, who was the slaves under their kingdom? The Israelites. The Israelites were slaves under the Babylonians. They were slaves under the Persian and Medes. Oh, get that sign again, brother. When you look at these ancient kingdoms, the Israelites were slaves under all these kingdoms: the Babylonian, the Medo-Persian, the Greeks, and the Romans. When the person you call Jesus came, whose name was Yahushua, he came during the time of the Roman Empire. What was going on? The southern kingdom, which was known as Judea, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, they were being oppressed by the Romans, taxed heavily, beaten, raped, right? So when we fast forward today, under the European Union in America, wouldn't they be in captivity again? It's a common similarity. They made all these kingdoms great then, right? The servitude of the Israelites is what made all these kingdoms great. Having them under servitude. Right? Right?
It says, because thou servest not the Lord thy power with joyfulness and with the gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things, therefore thou shalt serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness. And one of all things he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
Yeah, start right there. Brother Google yoke of iron. Right? And it said we should go to the one of him for all things, your enemy. We got to go to him for loans. Right? We got to go to him to get a house, apartment. Right? You want a car, you got to go to his dealerships. All right? You got to drive his brand cars that he made. We don't control nothing. And that's the question, right? So he's going to put a yoke of iron upon our neck. That's what you see. That's plain as day. They don't get more plain than that. Who had a yoke and iron put upon their neck? So-called Negroes. Native Americans. Yeah, he's from.
Okay. I'm an anthropologist, man. Study human culture.
Yeah. So you know who that fits.
It says
it damn sure don't fit those Israelis. But it will soon, though. Y'all gonna know what it feel like. You get a yoke of iron upon your neck. I'm gonna do the motherfucking, like, what's that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio where he had his brother? One of them had the mask on. You can come to my plant and one of them gonna have that big ass metal shit on their shit.
The Iron Man.
Yeah.
it says, and shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he hath destroyed thee. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far.
Here comes the indicator. Go ahead.
From the end of the earth, as swift as an eagle.
The Lord said he's going to bring a nation against us as swift as the eagle. What nation of people use the eagle as their emblem? So-called white people. Right? They did it as the Greeks. They did it as the Romans. And they came, see, when they was the Romans, they used to march in the war with the eagle. Right? And the Greeks, they used to have it with the eagle. Now you come to America, they had that, they prideful with the eagles.
American flag.
The eagle has landed. That time it's a killer eagle.
Got it on the back of the coin. Look at us, eagle. Even when you look at the ancient Roman coins, it's the same as the American coins. And the Greeks coins. See, they try to escape who they were. But see, the truth bring it up. Y'all motherfuckers ain't white. Y'all Edomites.
The Eagles have landed.
The Eagles have landed. And that's why Obadiah, let's get Obadiah, man. That's why Obadiah called their ass up. Hey, whoever that brother is, Obadiah, I can't wait to meet him. But he went down in that book. That brother got down, bro. He got down in the spirit, man. Obadiah? All he needed was one book.
Yeah.
All he needed was one chapter.
Let me get straight to the
Yeah,
point.
we're going to touch on that. Either start from verse 1.
Stop from verse 1, jump in. No, this is Obadiah 1, and it says, the vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord power concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, an ambassador is sent among the heathens. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. I'm going to jump down, and start at 3. And it says, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks.
Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks. Why? Because they used to dwell in the mountains and caves. Right? Before the Renaissance period, they were pushed up in the mountains while the Moors were ruling Europe. Right? Now, even today, they like to live high up, skyscrapers. Right? They love these tall buildings. You got an apartment on the 100th floor. Why? That's why when 9/11, yeah, that's why when 9/11 happened, niggas was trapped. Oh shit! Yeah, nigga, you built this tall ass building, you can't get down there. Now you in the elevator trying to fuck this shit. You through. Cause y'all like that high up feeling, that mountain feeling. That's why they go mountain climbing. Yeah, they love mountain climbing. Motherfucker on a mountain.
And then when they get up top,
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
look back down and look at me. I am God.
That's what it goes into, though.
Even the little fake mountain climbing that you have indoors, they love that shit. They be indoors climbing mountains.
They get so proud on them, they don't even need no cable now. Record me. They jumping from one rock to
They love the mountains. So read that verse again.
Verse 3 again in Obadiah, it says, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high.
His habitation is high. He like to live high up. Go ahead.
That saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Verse 4, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle,
Though thou would,
though thou exalt thyself as the eagle,
this dude loves the eagle. That's his, the Lord do little hints in us for us to get. That's how the Lord works with us. He didn't have to say that. As the eagle, swift as the eagle. All right, brothers, I'll make sure y'all catch that. I'm trying to let y'all know who this nigga is. Right? Go ahead.
and though thou set thy nest among the
He
stars,
sets his nest among the stars. He's the only motherfucker want to put satellites all up there, build space stations. He sets his nest amongst the stars, and he'll lie and say that he's in outer space. No, the fuck he ain't. Right? Like I always say, you got 3 layers of space. Right? The exosphere, thermosphere, stratosphere. He's not able to get past the exosphere because the Van Allen belt blocks him in. The scriptures tell us that the Lord has made his boundaries that he cannot pass. Just like he can only go so far in the depths of the ocean, he can only go so far up in the space. He's not in the outer space. He don't know what the fuck the moon look like. The Lord set his boundaries. Everybody that's on earth is trapped on earth. The Lord put a boundary on us. None of us can leave earth until the Lord says we were able to leave earth. That's why he put the Van Allen belt that he trapped us in. Let the devil lie to you and say, yeah, I left earth. I'm the first one to do it. What the fuck you did, you fucking liar? And when you look up the layers of space, you can see they'll show you where they got their satellites at. I believe it's in the middle. But they'll have you think that they shit is up there with Pluto and Jupiter. Get the fuck out of here, man. You don't know what those planets look like. You don't know what they for, and that's not their names. Pluto and Jupiter, those are Greek fucking names. They named the planets there. That's not the name the Lord gave those planets. Jupiter and Venus, all these Greek paganistic names, man. That's another sign this man is the devil. He names everything after him. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Let's name these days that. The Lord didn't say that. The Lord said even the evening is the first day. That's right. Even the evening is the second day. Right. Even the evening is the third day. Right. I rested on the 7th. Lord didn't say I rested on Sunday. Saturday. He said he rested on the 7th day. What's the 7th day? The 7th day could have been a Tuesday. We don't know. Right? Because what's the clock? The new moon. The moon. Right. But the devil comes and say, well, I named this that. I'm going to name this month September. I'm going to name this month October. I'm going to name this month August, February.
My calendar was the moon. It's working.
The Lord didn't say name the month that. He said a month is a month. This is just the first month. This is the second month. The devil comes and names stuff after him, man. So you got a lot of shit to pay for it. Because you got everybody believing that this way is right. And you got everybody confused out here. What you got, Valentine's Day coming up? That's madness. That should not be promoted throughout a society. Right? But he'll have you think, no, this is good. It's good to simp for a woman. But you don't even know what the first thing it is to be a man. You ain't got time to simp for a woman when you got not even serving your power, man. Buying a woman chocolates. How many times these men that's buying these women chocolates got on their knees to the Lord? How many days of the week do they get on their knees for the Lord and ask for repentance and mercy? But you buying some woman and slept with 50 different men some damn chocolates.
And 2 other men giving her chocolates too. Did something on work. Oh no, they just gave that at the job. Nah, your work husband gave you that shit.
You got big fucking balloons. Fuck out of here, man. If a woman ain't coming correct, she don't come at all, man. We at the point now we don't take these women seriously. And the elders always tell bros that don't take these women seriously. They children. Go ahead, bro.
It says, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, then will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh. We can't do that. No, keep going. Verse 5, it said, if thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? And that's the question, man. Ultimately, that Yahweh by Shemal Shaz gonna cut this man off, that physician, that's spoken about, that cut off a long disease.
That's why he said he's gonna come like a thief in the night. He gonna come when you ain't expecting to eat. Since you think can't nobody bring you down. Go ahead.
He says, would they not have...
He gonna remove that barrier. He gonna remove that barrier from the earth. You gonna see them chairs coming through. Right? It's gonna get ugly. It's gonna get ugly. They're gonna be knocking your satellites out of this shit. You couldn't wait to get this shit out the way.
You seen that on Independence Day.
Yeah. Go ahead, bro.
It says, would not they have stolen till they had enough? If grape gatherers came to thee.
Not to mention Leviathan, we forget about Leviathan. Leviathan is sitting in the depths of the ocean waiting for the Lord to give the go ahead. Chilling. Because Leviathan can't move until Yahweh says, okay, come on. Right? He at the very bottom of the oceans. Not just one Leviathan. It's many Leviathans. The Lord said when he created certain creatures, he created innumerable ones. So them Leviathans, they sleep at the bottom. They literally at the bottom of the ocean floor. With the deepest pressure that nobody can get to. And that's nobody has ever been able to get nowhere near to the depths of Leviathan. He in the darkness of the dark. Right? But that's the Lord. And the scripture say that's this creature that the Lord boasts in. He's like, who can pierce his skin? Who can put a hook and catch the Leviathan? The Lord loves Leviathan, man. Go ahead.
Verse 6, it says, how are the things of Esau searched out? How is his hidden things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border.
And that's what we're seeing now. He's being exposed. His own people exposed him. Alex Jones. Mm-hmm. Let's break this down. Let's get into, his own people calling him out. Because it's at the time of his exposure.
Yeah. How they do Alex Jones. How much money he owe?
That nigga in court.
Man, he got paid like, 60-something million or some shit?
After that court day, he came in mad as hell on the show. He said, just throw us all. Get over with. Push the nukes. I bet you want the nukes. You got to pay $1 million.
I didn't even know he was that full up.
He not. He ain't.
He goes.
They made it so that he can't come.
Yeah, that nigga got the. That's why he doing a show every day now. He got a new show. He got some news to bring up. Yeah. Put them ads up there. Put them ads on that video.
I thought it was freedom of speech. All you did was say shit. Now you got to pay.
But I mean, they use guys like him, Andrew Tate, to bring in further policies to come against what they call extremism. Because really they want to get us, you know. So they're using these guys to make policies like, see how they anti-Semitic, they this, that, and the third. Go ahead, bro.
It says, the men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee.
And that's what some of these other nations, right? That's coming to these world meetings, shaking his hand, but really they behind closed doors. They like, we gotta take this so-called white man out of power. These goops, these East Indians, they're like, yo, we gotta take this thing out of power some way, somehow, right? And that's why ultimately in World War III, those nukes are gonna be shot because these other nations are vying for world power, and they'll be damned if they move to the digital currency system. They're still under servitude under the petrodollar. They ain't going for it. They're not gonna move to a new system and still be under America's dominance. So that's what's gonna lead to war. And then the other nations go say, fuck it. You ain't about to have this one too. We gotta go, we'll go. Boom. Right? That's the times we're coming into. But see, the Lord has it to where he's gonna be able to reserve certain areas on the earth and deliver his saints. Right? By what we know as UFOs, what they call UFOs, which are the chairs which have been here for centuries. People have seen them for centuries, man. You know? And we knew they wasn't green-eyed aliens, because if they were, we all would have been on another planet in chains on our neck, serving them. They're the angels, man, surveying creation, monitoring creation. Like the scriptures tell us, they go to and fro throughout the earth. Right? Monitoring and dictating things. Go ahead.
It says, they that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. It says, there is no understanding in him. Verse 8, shall I not in that day, saith Yahweh, even destroy the wise men of Edom and the understanding out of the mountain Esau?
Yeah, that's what, see? Oh, because they'll have you say, Esau just one dude. Well, the scriptures tell us, what is that, Genesis 36? It says Esau is Edom. Right? Edom is what? Idol. That's his lineage. Esau is Jacob's brother. Esau is the so-called white man. Jacob is the so-called black man. Edom is his offspring. Right? Go ahead.
It says,
Yeah, can you explain that what you mean?
Let's get.
I mean, I've read Negroes and Hebrews. I've read African Mother Western Civilization. It talks about the 12 tribes and stuff. But that talks about the things before the Bible existed.
Yeah, let's get a.
Just curious, what are y'all?
25.
I'm just curious what y'all are doing and stuff.
Yeah, you can just stand and listen. We answered his question right now.
This is
And get on with Rebecca inquiring. You know, you get Romans. Yeah, let's be some.
Yeah, Romans 9.
It's a lot. Romans 9. It's about
this is Genesis 25 and let's start at.
And after you read that local, we'll get to where it starts speaking about Esau being
Enjoy your weekend, guys.
You got no patience.
Enjoy your weekend.
This is
Local white man wants you to answer him right when he wants you to answer.
immediately.
Right?
Nah, I'm good. This is Genesis 25 and 21. It says that and Isaac entreated of the Lord for his wife because she was barren. And the Lord
She wasn't able to have kids at that moment in time. Go ahead.
And the Lord Yahweh was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so.
Yeah, both her children in her stomach were struggling together, meaning they were fighting, they were tussling. Why would the Lord put that there? Let us know that when these children come out, they're always going to be struggling and tussling. All right? That's why he let us know they were fighting in the womb. Go ahead.
And the Lord Yahweh said unto her, 22, and the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of Yahweh, and the Lord Yahweh said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb,
The Lord said 2 nations, both your sons that come out are going to be 2 separate nations. That's where they're fighting one another. One son is going to birth one nation. The other son is going to birth a whole different nation. The Lord can do it like that. He's the Most High. He's the creator of the spirits. It's easy for him to make one of the sons a different nation. That's life. If you don't believe in that, you just don't have faith. That's what the scriptures just said. Go ahead.
And 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy vows.
It said 2 manner. When you go into that word manner, it means they're different from the things that they like. They like their food different. They like their music different. They like the way they clothes different. 2 manner of different people. Everything they do is different. They don't like it. They don't gel together. Right? They're meant to be separate. Right? That's what it's going to say. Go ahead.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people.
One brother, his people, his nation, they're going to be able to dominate everything that we do, whether it be physically or mentally. That's why when we look at our people, though we are the labor force, we're the strongest, smartest people to ever embrace this planet. Right? That's why they use us as the entertainers. We're the best musicians. We created every genre of music, whether it's rock and roll, whether it's jazz, any genre of music we created, right? You look at sports, we dominate every major sports that we go into, right? Even hockey. You got Jakes in hockey that they don't want to put on the forefront. That's how they're kicking ass, right? Inventions. We created every major invention that runs society, right? One people shall be stronger than the other. Go ahead.
And the elder shall serve the younger.
The elder shall serve the younger. Now, that's another key point. The Lord said, whichever son comes out first, his nation is going to serve the younger brother's nation, right, in the future. The elder should serve the younger. Everything that's being said in this verse, every little thing from the struggling to every little detail, it matters in the present day. That's why you have to hit every point. Go ahead.
Yeah, verse 24. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb, and the first came out red, all over like a hairy garment.
The elder, the one that's going to serve the youngest brother, right? He came out red, right? Who's the red people on the earth? They call themselves rednecks. When you see a so-called white baby born, when he come out the womb, he red as hell, right? Because all the blood he just came out of his mama, body. So the blood is all rushing through his body. You see, he's a red baby. It's all images of Edomite babies on the internet, red, right? They get sunburned, they turn red. They get nervous, they get rosy cheeks, red. They're the only red people on the earth.
They get angry.
They're not white.
They're not white, so they're the only people that can be Esau. Read that verse again.
Verse 20.
Because every other nation has what?
Melanin.
Whether they're the East Indians, right? Whether they're the Ishmaelites, the so-called Muslims, the Arabs, even the Gooks have form of melanin, right? They're the only people on the earth that lack melanin. That's why the blood shows forth out of their skin and makes them red people. So they're the only people that can be Esau. Wasted away, which is what Esau means in the Hebrew, Shashua, which means wasted away. His pigment is gone. That's why it says that the first came out red. Notice when the next one comes out, it's not going to say what he looked like because he looked like everybody else. He was dark skinned. There was no need to describe his face. But the first one, we need to describe this nigga because he looked different. And when Rebecca saw him, she looked like, what the fuck? That's why when you read further, she helps trick him out of the blessing because she didn't like him. Because he looked weird, he didn't have pigment, and she knew he was off. Right? And that's the so-called white man this day. Go ahead.
Verse 25.
The Lord set it up that way. And to this day, we're struggling just like we were struggling in the womb. How long have we been fighting the so-called white man? Forever. It goes back to the womb. We don't mesh together. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 25. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment.
They hairy as hell too. Right? Even though that's talking about when you go into the dyeing of the lamb's garment, right, dipping it in the blood, they also are hairy people. Right? Without all that Gillette shaving cream, if they let their shit grow, they're very hairy people. Go ahead.
like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau.
Yep.
And after that came
That's why they called his name Esau, because he lacked pigment. The names have meanings. So when somebody try to tell you, oh, the Arabs are Edom, that's bullshit, because they're not red, right? And they don't have the same characteristics that Edom had. That's why I'm gonna get the brother to read it, right? And also Edom controls the last kingdom, like we was reading there earlier. The Greeks, the Romans, the Americans, right? Europe, that evil. Who does that fit? So go ahead. Right? Go ahead.
verse 26. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel.
Wait a minute, don't tell us how Jacob looked though. We don't need to know how he looked, because he looked like everybody else. Go ahead.
And his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 when she bare them. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field.
He was a cunning hunter. That's another characteristic. Go on Google Images, pull up hunters. Brother, do that for me real quick. Yeah, brother, just go to Google Images and pull up hunters, and see who come up. There's gonna be hundreds of images of so-called white people, because he's a cunning hunter. He likes to hunt elephants. He likes to hunt deers. Did it pop up? You ain't gonna see no niggas. You got, of course, you have sprinkles in between everywhere, but the majority are so-called white people.
Yeah, for sport, not for
posing next to the animals that they shot.
Yeah.
Go in the store, get a hunting magazine. Who you gonna see? You gonna see Esau. These are characteristics to let you know who Esau is. So if somebody trying to tell you Esau ain't the so-called white man, they got to break this down correctly. Because the Lord has given us the characteristics of him right here to let us know who he is. That's why he's telling us this. So we'll be able to identify this nigga in the last days.
They know who they are.
Yeah. They know who they are. Yeah. Right? Go ahead.
And Jacob,
because when you go into the Rothschilds, right, it goes back to that term they had over there in Europe, red shield, which means red child. Right? They knew they were the red child, the Rothschilds. Go ahead.
27. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter and a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob.
Rebekah, your mama gonna love who she loves, right? And one thing about Jake, mama's boys. Tupac made it something. Dear mama. Boys and men, mama. It's all about mama, because that's just how it is with Jake. But Esau ain't no mama's boy. Esau, fuck you, motherfucker. He don't respect his parents at all. You know? That's the characteristics of Esau, right?
Yeah, if I may, it tells you in the scriptures the soul that's lifted up in him is not upright. You know?
Matter of fact, get that in Habakkuk. You gotta get that in Habakkuk too. If we on this nigga.
If you go into that word for plain for Jacob, it goes into being upright. You know, so that's why to this day we still have that scrimmage amongst each other where we constantly battling, because he's not upright, and our spirit is meant for us to be upright. You know.
So basically, you're looking at the Lord's movie with his protagonist, his antagonist. This is the whole movie that he had, and you're looking at a kingdom, a wicked kingdom ruled by the evil guy that he put in the movie. That's just how the Lord set it up. You know, we can't, and that's why I got the brother hold me Romans, because you'll have people question, well, why this and why that, why this? Let's get it.
Book of Romans chapter 9, and I start at verse 9.
And this is Paul about to back up what we just read in Genesis. Or you can only do the Old Testament, or you can only do the New Testament. When Paul is about to quote what we just read in Genesis. Go ahead.
It says, "For this is the word of promise. At this time will I come, and Sarah shall have a son. And not only this, but Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by our father Isaac." Verse 11, "For the children being not yet born,"
Paul said, before they were even born, go ahead,
neither having done any good or evil,
Before either one of them did good or evil, go ahead.
that the purpose of Yahweh, according to election, might stand.
The Most High just does what he wants. He said he creates a spirit and said, I'm gonna make you evil, I'm gonna make you righteous. Now go play it out.
Yeah.
He sits on his throne and watches. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's not for us to say, well, that ain't right. You were created. You ain't the creator. You play your role in the movie, or you gonna get judged. Go ahead.
It says, not of works, but of him that calleth.
It's not of works. Neither one of them could have did anything to change their outcome. The Most High wanted it to be that way, so it is that way. You don't have melanin because the Most High didn't want you to have melanin. You're the only nation on earth without pigment. The Most High didn't want you to have pigment. We had no say in that. There's nothing we can do right now to get these so-called white people pigment. We ain't got the answers. You try doing it, the Most High will put your ass to death.
It says, it was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger, as it is
And that's
written.
what we're waiting on. We're waiting for that prophecy to hit. Because right now, what did it read? Jacob had his hand on his heel. Right? Matter of fact, brother, give me that in the park real quick.
69, second 69, I got you right here.
Go ahead.
It says,
Yeah, it's 6.
yeah, because there's a lot of meat up here. Second Ezra 69, it says, for Esau is the end of the world. and
Esau
Jacob-
is the end of the world, right? You have different worlds, but the world that is talking about there is age, eon in the Greek. The end of Esau's age is what we're fastly approaching, right? Go ahead.
It says, for Esau is the end of the world, but Jacob is the beginning that followeth.
Right, Jacob is next, the 12 tribes of Israel, the kingdom of heaven. After Esau, his brother's done ruling. Once his brother Esau is taken down, then Jacob's kingdom is going to come. Go ahead.
It says, verse 10, the hand of man is betwixt the hill and the hand. Other questions Ezra asked you not, because as Ezra he was acquiring, when the kingdom was going to be established, so the Lord was showing him, hey, look, Esau's going to be the end, so when that it was showing that, because when he read it in Genesis, when Jacob held the hill to Esau, that's Jacob pulling down that power structure of Esau, through Yahweh Shah.
Which is what you're seeing there with the prophets on the highways and byways, the Israelites rising up to their nationality in the last days, as it was spoken to happen in the book of Ezekiel. The Lord told us in the last days of Esau's kingdom, we would come back to our nationality of being Israelites. That's the major sign that this man is out of here. Because go back 30, 40, 50 years ago, we know who the fuck we were. Right? When Martin Luther came in with marching, they didn't know what the fuck with it. We shall overcome. They didn't know what the hell was going on. But now we're in a time where we know who the devil is, and we know who Jacob is, and we know who our power is, and we know who our Savior is. Right? Go ahead back to Romans.
It says, Romans chapter 9 and verse 12, and it was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated.
The Lord said he loved Jacob, and he hated Esau. God don't hate. Read it again.
It says, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated.
The Lord created Esau to hate him. That's right. Now, are you able to understand that and accept it? That's on you. Because we just read the scripture. So for anybody that could, God don't hate, God don't hate, God don't hate, God don't hate, and they run up the street. Well, that's on you. You don't accept it. But the scripture is the scripture. Right? We just say the word Yahweh said it with Jacob. Every day I wake up, I could be mad at the world all I want, but I could be happy as hell that I'm Jacob. I ain't no damn Edomite. Right? You look in the mirror and you say, I'm Jacob. I could have been a goop. I could have been a so-called white man without pigment, waiting to go into slavery, because their time is next. See, we already did the plantation. We ain't going back there. Their ass is next though. And the Lord gonna be here when their ass is slavery, so it's gonna be way worse. So we wake up and we say, the Lord got much, and we love ourselves. So they tell us to hate ourselves. We got the best hair on the earth. Curly. We put that oil in there. We soft. You know what I'm saying? They hair is dry, brittle, flaky. But they taught you that you had the wrong course of hair when the creator of hair gave you that hair. Obviously, that's the right kind of hair. And all women, they gonna get their hair in the kingdom, and you don't see what wool look like in length when it's down to their feet. You don't see how beautiful wool is. It's the reason sheep have woolly hair. We're liking that sheep. We're known as the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Yeah, if I may add, the whole world, the world doesn't know that everything this man looks like is contrary to what the Lord sees as beauty, you know? Because in the scriptures it tells you if you have a thin yellow hair, it's a curse, you know?
They call it leprosy of the scalp.
Of the scalp.
If you
That's
blonde,
right.
if you have blonde hair, they never brought that on to Christianity.
Yeah.
All these so-called white pastors bring out the law in Leviticus, where it says if you have blonde hair, it's leprosy of the scalp. And leprosy, period, is when you get when Moses did it, when he went to Pharaoh and he put his hand in his cloak and he took his hand out, it said his hand became leprous, white as snow. Well, in order for his hand to appear white, his flesh had to be dark. Because if it was a so-called white man, it wouldn't appear white. He's already pale.
That's right.
So that's a cut right there. And they didn't put that in the 12 Commandments movie, the one with Charleston Heston. All they did was show the snakes. They didn't. When he did the staff with the snakes, they didn't do the cloak part because they couldn't. They fucking hypocrites. And when they do, whenever, because I seen the old Ben Hur, they show leprosy as like boils. They try to make it boils. But that's not what leprosy is, because they said leprosy as white as snow. And when Miriam got cursed with leprosy, it said she became white.
Yeah, they try to make it seem like leopard, you got to stay away from them because they're contagious.
Yeah, that's not a leopard. Yeah, they say that's a leopard. That's a leopard. No, a leopard.
They be covered up, hooded up, like this and shit.
A leopard is you, motherfucker.
That's right.
Because you have unclean leopards and you have clean leopards. An unclean leopard is someone that has spots. A brother put me up that model. What's her name? Willow.
Yeah, the one that Wiz was rocking.
Yeah, pull up. What's the
What's the name of that disease?
Vitiligo. The vitiligo model.
Will Smith.
Not Will Smith, the model. Put in the vitiligo model. I think her name is Whitney.
Will Smith? Willow. He said Widow.
No.
Is Willow?
No.
Willow?
No, that's Will Smith's daughter.
Vitiligo model. Yeah, that's her.
Yeah, pull her up. No, do the one with the body. That's a purple one. Now this is an unclean leopard, right? In all law.
Oh, yeah.
This is an unclean leopard.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
Because it's spotted all over. But if her whole body was like that, then she would be considered a clean leopard. Because she's fully like that.
Right.
The so-called white man is a clean leopard, basically.
Right.
Because he's fully like that. He doesn't have no brown skin on him at all. Right? That's in the law. Something they do not teach in none of these Christian institutions. Right? That was a good point, bro. I'm glad you brought that up. The leprosy of the scalp. Because they be forgetting about that. Go ahead, bro.
Romans chapter.
And their hair attracts lice. Like actual bugs and shit. Let's show you that hair the way to go. You finna see how bad their hair can get when they don't have that shampoo and all that shit. Us, we put some water in us, we good.
It's like a plant.
Yeah, go ahead.
Romans chapter 9 and verse 14. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with Yahweh? Yahweh forbid. For he said to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy.
Yeah, because you have these people out here that say that's God is wrong. He's unfair then. But the Lord said, no, I'm not. I will have mercy on who I will have mercy. Right? It's just like you when you was a kid, you had your G.I. Joes. I remember I used to play with G.I. Joes. When the kids used to actually play with action figures, I would use one as a villain and one as the hero. And I'd be outside and I'd throw the villain fucking all the way down the goddamn. That nigga couldn't help it. He had no saying this shit. Nigga, why me? Nigga, I'm running the show. That's how the Lord set it up. Oh, you remember the little green army soldiers? I had a whole chest of them shits, and I would set them across the room, little army shits, and you would set up a whole battle, and you would knock over certain ones. You in control of it. That's how the Most High views us. The scriptures say the earth is His footstool, right? He looks at us as like, come on, man. That's like lower than that. It's like, come on, man. So who are you to question His ways? For one, how can you even begin to think of what he's doing or try to comprehend what he's doing when you can't remember the meal you had last Monday?
Christ said, "You fearfully and wonderfully made, man."
Say that again, brother.
The scripture said, "You fearfully and wonderfully made."
Yeah, yeah. You're supposed to be in the midst of him and respect and just being on him. You know, at the end of the day, you're not supposed to question your maker. You're supposed to be grateful of who you are, right? And grateful that you have another day to be better for him. You know? Go ahead, bro. And the water that he gave us back our heritage. He was a power of his word. He didn't leave us destitute out here thinking that we was black, a Crayola color. Right? He gave us back our nationality like he said he did. That's a just power. That's a power you want to serve to the death. Because he didn't leave you hanging. So what the so-called white man ruling right now in the flesh? This is temporal. You know how many kingdoms ruled before and not here right now? You look at the Ethiopians, the Sudanese. They were the ancient Egyptians, royalty at one point. Decked out in gold, jewels, makeup, looked totally different. You see what the Lord did to them? You wouldn't even be able to tell they had a whole empire, man. The scriptures tell us in Psalm chapter 75, the Lord set up one nation and he bringeth down another. When it's time for one nation to rule, he puts down the others. You won't even be able to tell that they were empires. Right? The Iranians, they want to get back to being the Persians. That ain't never coming back. You had your time. The Lord put you down, he set you up when it's your time. Right now, we look great. You wait till the Lord glorify us and give us our kingdom and see what we look like. The same way he made cave beasts, he put these cave beasts in these suits and these ties. Watch what he do to his children. That's why he gonna make us immortals. He gonna change us into gods. Because that's the inheritance for his sons. He saved that for the children of Jacob. You're not gonna give that to no other nation on the earth. Only to Jacob gets immortality. So they look at us now as if we're nothing, but that's cool. That's all right. We ain't supposed to be looked at as something good. It's not our kingdom. Most importantly, it's not our Lord's kingdom. He's waiting to come back and get his kingdom, but he has to wait for the Father's go ahead. Right? Okay, now we're going to take down Eve. Go ahead, Yahushua. Lead the platoon of chariots and go get them. And Yahushua is not going to play in that day at all. The scriptures tell you how he's coming back. Garment drenched in blood. First one, he going to be in front of all us with his sword, man. Conquering and devouring. Go ahead, bro.
It says Romans chapter 9 and verse
King
11.
David too. King David coming back. Right? Reincarnation. Spirits don't die. You just get put in another vessel. Spirits, they don't die. It goes back to the Creator till he's ready to put you in a new vessel, right? That's why you experience things like deja vu. You know, I did something like this before. I may not have been in this exact place, but something like this I've done before. I just feel it. Because we've all been here numerous times before. Right? That's why the Lord tells you death is really not a thing. You really just sleep. When a person's flesh dies, the body becomes cold. It's because the spirit that kept it warm is gone. Right? But the spirit will come right back down in a new vessel whenever the Lord wants you to. That's why he said, don't be marveling at death as if it's something so big. Anybody that you lost on this side, you're going to see them again and again. And the best part about it is they're going to be righteous and you're going to be righteous. They're going to be in their right mind and you're going to be in your right mind. Right? You want to stay here in the flesh and be corrupted by the devil. Deal with bills. I tell you right now, anybody that passed away that's an Israelite, they happy as hell right now. That they ain't on this earth. They at rest, they at peace, and they ain't got to deal with the shit we got to deal with in the flesh. They do not. If you said you want to come back down and be with me, no the hell I ain't. They'll tell you that. No the fuck I ain't. You at peace when you with the Lord. The scriptures tell you that. The scriptures tell you everyone that dies at rest. You ain't dealing with none of the troubles of the flesh.
I got that for you real quick if you want.
Go ahead.
It says, it's Job, the 3rd chapter.
Even what's his name was like Saul, wicked ass was a wicked ass nigga. Yeah. And they called him back. They said, "Why the hell you wake me up?"
Yeah, Saul conjured up
Samuel.
Yeah, Samuel, the prophet Samuel,
Yes.
the water. He called him because Samuel was resting. He was done with the flesh. He said, I did my time, I did my work. That's the spirit is at peace. That's something you don't have in the flesh, right? Go ahead, bro.
I'm gonna just get straight to the
Even
point.
Paul, when Paul was called up, he didn't want to get put down back there. Paul wanted to stay up there. He said, man, what I see, so I want to come back down here with y'all at. You know? Yeah. That's what I say, if you ain't doing the will of Yahweh, if you ain't doing the will of the Lord, your life is vain. All you're doing is, okay, you eating Burger King and you working a 9 to 5 and you watching Netflix. That's a vain life. Before you know it, 5 years done pass and you're doing the same shit, working the same job, watching the same shows, eating the same food. Come on, man. You ain't building nothing, you ain't leaving no legacy. Most importantly, you ain't serving your power.
I'm gonna just get straight to the point. But this is Job. You know, when he was going through his tribulation that the Lord had allowed him to be put through. You know, he was talking about the being next to the Heavenly Father and how you are at rest. But you know, you're gonna have trouble in this flesh. But just one quick verse. It's Job 3:17. It says there the wicked cease from troubling, and that's talking about being next to the Heavenly Father or being in the spiritual realm. You know, or out of the flesh. It says. And there the weary be at rest. There the prisoners rest together. They hear not the voice of the oppressor. You know, and even the oppressor, he know what time it is. You know, when he is outside of his flesh, being next to the Heavenly Father. Even Esau know. Hey, what was that one account with that nurse, that old Edomite? You know, she was. And that Edomite was saying, yeah, man, everything I've learned on this earth, I was completely wrong. You know, you guys are the true people, you know, and we're meant to be servants under you.
Near-death experience.
Yeah.
You get to that next realm, it'd be a whole different thing, a whole different story.
That's right.
You know, but like the brother just read that, you don't have the cares of this life, you don't have the cares of this world. Yeah. Everything here brings you trouble. Yeah. If you ain't got family problems, you got work problems. If you ain't got work problems, you got mental problems. You got all type of fucking problems.
That was it on that.
You know? Go ahead, bro.
It's Romans chapter 9 and verse 4.
It's like basically when a person dies, you know how when you sleep, you get that good sleep. I mean, like that real good sleep. You got that rock on the mountain top. You got that slide on out. You get soaked in the pillow around your head. That's basically your death sleep. You in that deep sleep that's just sound knocked out. That's why the Lord said when He woke the little girl up, He said she sleep. Get up. Mm-hmm. She poked up. He put the spirit back in. That's all. That's what death is. But the only thing people don't like about death is the painful part of the flesh. Right?
Romans 9 and verse 14. It says, what shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with Yahweh? Yahweh forbid. For he said to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. So then it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of Yahweh that showeth mercy.
That's why we even tell brothers that do this, even though we're out here doing this, that don't mean the Lord has to choose us. That's why we're supposed to wake up with fear every day, right? Because the Lord don't have to choose. Don't have to choose me. Don't have to choose others. Just because, well, Lord, I serve you. He can say, well, I don't want you. And I will have to accept that. Because I'm not the creator. I'm the creation. You know? It's going to be men in that day. The scriptures tell us it's going to be men in that day. Not I prophesy in your name. And he's going to say, get away from me. I never knew. So you're supposed to wake up with fear when you wake up. Lord, please help me, show me your way. You know what I'm saying? You don't just come out here and be prideful. Yeah, I teach the Bible. Yeah, I'm the man. Look at me. Yeah. Who gonna tell me something? Yeah, I'm telling you. Then your ass get a nuke right along with a fucking faggot. You get the same instruction as a homosexual. That's what's gonna happen to a lot of these prideful jakes, man. Because it ain't about you, right? It's about the body being built. It's about the glorification of Yahweh Shemashah. It ain't about you. You've been given this gift to help your brothers and sisters come back to their heritage. Man. You've been given this gift to glorify yourself. The fuck? Quickly as it's been given, it can be taken away. You've been given understanding to teach the brothers and sisters that are willing to hear. But you got certain guys that take it and went, hey, I'm about to build my organization. Look at me. I'm high priest, chief. Look at my t-shirt. Ain't about you, man. Go ahead, bro.
It says, verse 17, for the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. Therefore have he made mercy on
What did he just say? My power should be shown in you, so his name can be declared. That's who it's about. It ain't about us. Even when we get decked out, even when we get the kingdom and we get our thrones and our palaces, we get all the women with our heart can desire, that ain't for us. That's for the glory of our Father. Because when we look good, he look good. So you may think, yeah, I'm getting glorified. Yeah, you get glorified so we can glorify your Father. Because he chose us at the end of the day.
The scriptures tell you we still gonna worship him day and night, you know, even in the kingdom. So even in that time, we still gonna realize and completely understand that reverence is given to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son.
Even as gods. We're going to be gods, bow down. Even more, we can't even die, but we still going to bow down. Because the right spirit going to be in us. Now, if we was niggas and we was immortals,
Fuck, I gotta bow down for.
Yeah,
I can't die.
You know?
oh, man. You just want to spirit. Yeah, that's what the spirit got to be renewed. That's right. Can you imagine we had a whole bunch of niggas that was immortals?
Shoot me.
Lap dances.
Bro, it'd be a mess. Go ahead, bro. You better wrap it up soon.
It says,
You've been here almost 4 hours.
verse 18, therefore he have mercy on whom he will have mercy, on whom he will, he hardened it. Thou wilt say then unto me, why doeth he yet find fault? For who have resisted his will? Verse 20, nay, but O man, who art thou that repliest against Yahweh? Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus?
Yeah, to the thing formed, say to the person that formed it, the power that formed it, why you made me this way, right? Even people that have handicaps, deformities, the Lord made you that way for whatever reason. Maybe you did something in your past life. Maybe it's something your parents did in their past life. Or maybe he just wanted to have you born that way. That's not for you to question. We got brothers in this faith that are handicapped. We got brothers in this faith with deformities. You know what those brothers did? Accepted their lot and they serving their power. They're not making excuses. They're not trying to curse their Lord. But you have these wicked ass people out here in the world saying, God did this to me, so I don't like God. Well, that's on you. But we all gonna have to meet our maker. And I want you to say the same thing you're saying to me, to him. And you ain't gonna be able to see it. Because it'll be funny, you get up there, he starts showing you all your past incarnations. When you was able-bodied, when you was a complete nigga. They said, well, I had you born handicapped in this life, but look at all these lives I gave you when you wasn't handicapped. Look at all this shit you had. Then you be up there with the bug eye like, you know? That's why you don't question what your Lord does. You just accept it. All you can do is accept it at the end of the day. You can't change shit. All you can do is rebel, and rebellion leads to death. Right? Now everybody's gonna die except for the few elect men that's not gonna die, because you do have men right now on this earth that are not gonna taste death. The scriptures tell us that, right? But majority of people die, right? But that's okay. The Lord got you at the end of the day, right? You have a righteous death and you have a wicked death. What you want to partake in is a righteous death if you have to die, right? Because when you have a righteous death, you have gain on the other side. That's why when the elect that do have to die, what happens to them? Right? They coming right back with the Lord in the chariots. When the wicked die, what's going to happen? They got to stay up there in the spirit realm while the kingdom is being built. Thousand years may go by and you still ain't been back on earth yet because you was a wicked nigga over here in the earth. So you have Jason say, well, I'm an Israelite, I'm gonna be in the kingdom anyways. You don't know how long the Lord will keep you in the spirit realm. You may be a brother's great grandchild in the kingdom. You done missed all type of shit. I want to be part of the first fruits. I want to come down out the chariot and go to Europe, go to India, and get these people in chains and gather these people up and watch them take up all this concrete and take these buildings down. right? I want to watch them laying them gold bricks in the kingdom. I want to watch them do the work. I don't want to be in the spirit realm while the kingdom's getting built. I want to partake in that. And that's the blessing of the first fruits. They get to partake in the rulership with Yahweh Shah when he comes back. They get to come with him and reign on the earth and conquer. I want to see the looks on these people's faces that was ruling this earth in wickedness. I don't want to come back as a kid again. I don't want to do that. I'm ready to live as a man.
Be a man.
That's the blessing of the first fruits, right? And we close too, bro, because these prophecies are going to happen fast. Especially once that commandment gets instituted, things are going. You already see how fast the days are going now. The Lord is speeding up time, man. We at the end of this thing. February of 2023.
What they said, that doomsday clock or something?
Oh yeah, they said the doomsday clock at 97. Which that clock, that's like that's something the elites got just to show you how close they are to bringing hell. Because what they have in their mind is they're going to bring the destruction, but they're going to somehow control it. But the Lord got them in a trick bag. He going to have it to where they lose the grip of it. Because they are his sword. The scriptures tell us that the wicked is his sword. He's using the so-called white man to use his destruction, but that has gone to the so-called white man's head. He thinks he's in full control. That's why the brother read, that pride of thine heart hath deceived you. So he's going to bring these natural disasters, this cyber attack. The light's going to get cut off. He's going to bring these orchestrated famines, right? He's going to think he's in full control, but the Lord got his number. You know? So that doomsday clock is them telling us, yeah, we coming. That's basically what it's set for. Because they don't know the day the nukes are going to be shot off. Only the Lord knows that. But that's their sign of showing us, yeah, we got to bring shit. Go ahead, bro.
Romans 9 and verse 21. Have not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? Verse 22. What of Yahweh willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endure with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction?
So that's why we're still in this predicament, because the Lord wants the so-called white man to do as much wickedness as he can, so it can pile up and the Lord can be justified in the judgment he's going to give him. Remember, we serve a just power. Now the Lord really wants to fuck E up, like fuck him up bad. So he's not just going to shoot nukes on him. The slavery that's he going to have in the kingdom, ain't no words for it. But he's done enough to receive it. But the Lord allowed him to do it. That's why he said, I'll let him do it. I'm suffering. Let him do it. Because I need him to do it. So when I give my sons the kingdom, I'm justified in letting them do what they about to do to you, boy. Everything we gonna do to you is justified, man.
Right.
Everything. And you keep going too. Nigga, you ain't stopping. Nigga, keep going. Transhumanism. Want to change us half human, half robots. A man could be a woman could be a man. He just keep going. He ain't stopping. So good for E. Let's get E a round of applause and give the devil. Because he's doing his job. Hurry it up. Go ahead, brother.
Push the fucking button.
Verse 23. And that he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy, which he had afore prepared unto glory.
See, and that's us, brothers. That's Jacob. That's Jacob. So the Lord is going to remove that barrier. We're going to be able to go to different planets, different galaxies. That's reserved for his children, right? The so-called white man can't do that. It's not for him. If he do happen to get taken to another planet, it's going to be in chains. A brother may say, I need my slave with me. Come with me here. You know? But the scriptures tell you, in my father's house are what? Many mansions. What is the Lord's house? If the earth is his footstool, what is his house? He said, in my father's house are many mansions. I go to prepare a place for you. So where I go, you can be with me. And we already see how big them chariots can get. They are planted themselves. So we about to inherit some great things, brothers. That's why the scriptures tell us, this brother like that scripture, the sufferings of this present time is not worthy to be compared with the glory that we're going to receive. It only feels hard because we're in the flesh and we weak and like, what? We still here. But the Lord is like, what I got for y'all, trust me, y'all ain't going to remember it. First day in the kingdom, you ain't going to remember slavery. As soon as you see them gifts, as soon as you see your new body, you're like, what the? You ain't going to be thinking about America, man. And we can't wait. You know, but that's why we do this. That's why we out here when nobody want to listen. That's cool. We know what this is. We know what this leads to. And we see the brothers up through all the states doing the same thing, coming back to their heritage, doing what they're supposed to do. Right? We don't need a whole bunch of people listening. The Lord don't deal like that. He always deals with small numbers. He deals with the things people don't think is going to grow. Then when it does grow, you're too late. Because you didn't have faith when it was just a mustard seed. Right?
Spirit bear witness.
Yep. Yep. It's for those that have that access, right? Not everybody came to John the Baptist and listened to him in the wilderness. Not everybody, a lot of people thought he was crazy. Like, you gonna listen to that crazy man? A lot of dudes on the corner like that, because the Lord told us to come out here. He even told us if nobody come, prophesy to the wind. Do it because I told you to do it. That's what he said. And he called this foolishness. Right? The Lord called it, what is it in Corinthians?
Yeah,
He said it pleases him by the foolishness of preaching, because he knows nobody gonna listen. But he wants us to do it because it glorifies him. That's how the Lord works. So these people out here don't even understand why we out here a lot of times. But we know why we out here. The Lord told us to do it. Right? And we're going to continue to do it to the so-called white man force us off the school. He's going to force us, bitch. Because we love doing this. It's a labor of love. Right?
Yeah.
We don't even have people throw shit at us, fight us, cops on us, all type of shit. We still here, baby. We ain't going nowhere till the Lord shut our mouth. Go ahead, bro.
I think that was it on that. Yeah, that was it on that.
And that's one thing you ain't gonna see with these fake ass Christians. They don't come out here like that. They don't stand for their truth because it ain't the truth. The prophets were always out on the highways and the marketplaces when you read the scriptures. They was always out where you could see them and cuss off and hear them. It wasn't in no fucking building owned by the government, man. So, man, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. We've been out here long enough, man. We want to give all praises and glory
To Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Ba'akadosh.
We want to our teachers, the other apostles of great millstone, shalom to the hopeful elect. Palm Yashala.
Palm Yashala.
Waffle of a ball.
Waffle of a ball.